It is time to start a new review today. Welcome back. It is Good Critic, Bad Critic. I'm with my two Muppet friends, Captain Quintano and
Woo!
Craig, who is Bob today. It looks like here on the bottom line.
How do you do this?
We are doing well. Hope everybody. Did y'all have a good Thanksgiving? Well, Quentin had a Thanksgiving. I don't think they have Thanksgiving in the UK, right?
Yeah, we never had the Indians help us with anything.
That's fair.
Except tea.
I guess that's the real purpose of it all.
Oh,
I mean,
man, trashing the Native American. They didn't help us.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Pretty sure we just decimated them all and stole their land, but hey.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, actually, if you go back and read history, it was mostly disease. So
Yes.
it was
Yeah.
inadvertent, most of it. But,
Yeah.
we definitely took advantage of that.
There was some definitely verted stuff. Not
Yeah.
inverted.
All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed our first review, which was Gladiator 2 last week. This week, which is going to be the norm going forward, we're going to be reviewing classic movies, good and bad. And we decided, as soon as we ended the Gladiator 2 stream, that we were going to review Batman, Tim Burton's Batman from 1989.
whoop, whoop.
It's directed by Tim Burton, screenplay by Sam Hamm, Warren Scarron. Story by Sam Hamm. That's a funny name. Sam Hamm. Sounds like a Dr. Seuss character.
It is a Dr. Seuss character. It's gotta be.
Music by Danny Elfman. That Batman theme. I'll tell you one thing. Batman films, like almost all of them, have great music.
This one especially,
Great-
I noticed
great
for
score,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
And then
sparked off a
Hans
relationship.
Zimmer in the Christopher Nolan trilogy.
But that sparked off a lifelong relationship with
Nolan.
Nolan with Hans Zimmer and Danny Elfman with Tim Burton.
Yeah.
Put on any Tim Burton film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the release date. Actually, Craig, I put in two different release dates here because I wanted to ask you about this. So the release date in the U.S. was June 23rd, 1989, but in the U.K. it was about 2 months later, August 11th,
right.
1989. Does it normally work that way with films where it's released in America first and then the UK second, or is there some films where it's the other way around?
It does go the other way around. That's an exception.
Okay.
But Australia, Australia get bent over and they go and dry. They get them like months later. Like
Really?
Anywhere like Australia and Japan, which is also.
Okay.
Do they just not want to copy, like people making copies of it, or what's the point in not just doing a worldwide same day release? I don't get that. I get that time zones are different, but that makes no sense to me. You think that you'd want that first like worldwide opening week to just be huge.
Genuinely, I have no idea why they would actually do that. But no, that was pretty standard for something to come out in America, especially back then. So late 80s, early 90s. Well, even a bit further. Yeah.
Is it like that now today?
To a much lesser extent because of the internet. It's a much lesser extent of the thing.
I find it hard trying to avoid spoilers just like a day after a movie comes out. I can't imagine being in the UK and like not having to go on social media for like 4 days just to avoid spoilers for certain films. It would drive me crazy.
Do you know, I don't mind spoilers at all. I am that bad. I could be watching a film and I'm planning on watching it like all the way through, and I will go on my phone and I will look up the plot synopsis. So I'm like, I want to know what happens. And you look at the time and there's an hour left. I'm like, what happens?
I wonder how many people are like that, because I could never do that. I don't
know
anything that happens.
No, you hate it. It doesn't spoil the enjoyment for me, but I think that's a very me trait. That's not something it's not a British thing. It's not a most people thing.
Yeah.
It's just a bit of a me trait. But
all right. Well, we have two different release dates in the US and the UK. Running time is 126 minutes. Budget for this film was $48 million. Box office earnings was $411.6 million. At the time, it was the sixth highest grossing film in history.
That's
at
insane.
the time. I did not realize that this film was that massive a success. I mean, I knew it was a big hit, but
it was
that massive of a success. Wow, that I had no idea. So
it's probably just one of those. I mean, where does it rank in terms of like being the first superhero movies that came out, like big budget, Hollywood superhero movie?
Well, I'd put Superman first. The Superman from the 1970s with Christopher Reeves. I'd probably put those ahead. Yeah.
You've got to think of the marketing behind it, though, as well. Prince, the album. That album was huge.
We'll get to that, yeah.
But yeah, the toys. The SNES, the NES, like there was NES games for it, Batman video games. There was so much toys, everything. It was sort of followed the Star Wars,
Star Wars model. That's a very good point.
Smart on there for it.
But 12 years on from Star Wars, like having the video games and having just so much more. Having the album that was written by Prince, who was except for Michael Jackson, probably the biggest artist on the planet. Yeah. Maybe Madonna.
People used to make arguments on who was better.
Out of Prince and Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
I'm an MJ fan myself.
Usually MJ won that argument, but I was never the biggest Prince fan.
Once the diddling of children came out, I'm pretty sure some people swapped over to Prince.
Yeah,
they tagged out. Prince, better musician, but Michael Jackson, surprisingly good musician because he vocally wrote a lot of his tunes. Yeah. So he'd sing it in perfect pitch, and then whoever's playing it would actually, on the instruments, would then copy it. Yeah. But yeah, Prince, better musician. Michael Jackson, probably the best entertainer we're ever going to see. I'm going to say, in terms of that.
Be right. It's hard to throw an alternative in there.
Yeah.
All right. So sixth highest grossing film in history at the time of its release. That's insane. The cast, of course, it had listed Jack Nicholson ahead of Michael Keaton in the Wikipedia page.
He was way more Nicholson.
He was at the time he was way more famous than Michael Keaton, and probably still is, honestly. But of course, Jack Nicholson plays the Joker. Michael Keaton is Batman / Bruce Wayne. Kim Bassinger as Vicki Vale. Robert Wool as Alexander Knox. Pat Hingle as Commissioner Gordon. Billy D. Williams as Harvey Dent. I still feel like we were robbed of a
because of Star Wars.
Billy D. Williams Two-Face.
Oh yeah,
incarnation, because we never got to see Billy D. Williams as Two-Face.
That would have been crazy.
There was a time that was.
It may not have been good, but just the possibility of seeing that, I would have liked to have seen it. You know what I mean?
It would have been sick.
There was a third Tim Burton film planned, and that was going to happen, but it didn't happen. So we had Batman Returns, and then that was Tim Burton's.
Yeah, I could believe
but it. But I would have loved to have seen that.
Mm-hmm. Michael, I apologize if I'm getting this. It says Go, or Goo. It's Gough.
Gough.
Gough. Okay. Gough. Okay. So he plays Alfred. Jack Palance plays Grissom, and William. This name is awesome, and I once we start getting into the movie, you're gonna hear me mention this guy again. But this is Mike, and I'm not making this up. It said William Michael Hoot with quotation marks. Hootkins. So William Michael Hootkins.
Hootkins.
Who plays Lieutenant Max Eckhart, who's kind of a prominent character in the beginning of the story here. But all right. Before we
he doesn't look like an owl. No, he does not.
Yeah. Before we get into it, I feel compelled to mention that this is Captain Quintano's first time seeing this film.
Yeah.
So
I grew up with, the Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy is kind of what I grew up with. I was introduced to Batman through like Batman Beyond growing up, which was awesome. Batman animated series my brother would always have on. So it was really cool. But, I always saw clips of Jack Nicholson as the Joker, and knowing Jack Nicholson from The Shining, one of my favorite movies growing up, You just could see the psychopath in him, and I don't know why it took me this long to watch, but really happy I did. Really happy I watched it.
I think that's more Jack Nicholson than anything else.
For sure.
I was about to say, I think he's a psychopath in real life too.
He's got to be.
He doesn't have to really act that much.
He's too good at playing it.
Yeah. That's method acting. Why not just be a psychopath?
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna dive into this. Batman 1989. So here we go. The film opens up, and we have Warner Brothers logo and the Danny Elfman score, which is I love hearing it because I was a big fan of the Batman animated series from the 90s, and they actually used Danny Elfman's score from this film for the opening.
They borrowed a lot.
They borrowed it a lot, and especially in that opening introduction sequence in that show. But anyway, long title sequence with Danny Elfman's score getting more and more intense. It also comes up listed in the opening credits. Songs written and performed by Prince. So I believe in the film there's two of them, right? One of them is Party Man. I forget what the name of the other song is, but both of those songs appear in the movie.
He did. There was an album. There was a full album.
That's wild.
Wait a minute. Hold on. You're saying there was a full album just for Batman?
I'm going to go on a limb and say that.
Because that sounds crazy to me. To make like a whole entire album just for a movie, and you're Prince. I mean, hey, maybe.
Yeah, it was a full. Yeah, the album title is literally Batman. That's
no
crazy.
Shit. That's wild.
9 songs.
Has there been anything like that before or since?
Wow, that's wild. I think Linkin Park did a bunch for Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
The Linkin Park did not, but they didn't do a Transformers.
I don't think they did an album though. Yeah,
no, definitely not. Not on that level.
But no, I was absolutely sure of it. But as soon as you put me on the spot, I think definitely so. But
no, you were right on the money.
He was right. I'd never heard of that before.
Electric Chair, Vicky Waiting, Party Man, and Bat Dance. He wrote a song called Bat Dance.
Bat Dance. I think that's on the Batman
Bat Dance
as well.
I don't even know what it's. I'm playing the old '60s theme tune. All right, so the bat. After all the credits, the bat symbol appears. I had a question here for both of you. How would you? I'll start with Captain Quintana. How would you rate this bat symbol?
I was about to say 10 out of 10. I really think
you like it? Okay.
The dopest bat signal I have seen. When I saw it, I thought I kind of held on to that for a minute or two when I first saw it. And then with the bat wing.
Exactly the same. It's a cartoon character, and that is such a cartoon character.
Yeah.
Like that is such a perfect aesthetic of it. Yeah. Absolutely, man.
All right. That's a question you're going to hear a lot, by the way. Once we get to certain points, I'm going to be like, how would you rate this? And it all has to do with Batman comparisons to other stuff, you know? Cause,
what about you? Where'd you put it?
The bat symbol, it's not my favorite, but I like it.
So sick.
It's not, they're all the bat symbols from every movie are awesome, I think. The one that I like
this has a lot more flair than Nolan's.
Yeah, the one that I liked the least was, to no surprise, was that the Zack Snyder one from the. That bat symbol was like it made the bat symbol had like a bat with like a fat head. It looked a little off, you know. Yep. Every other one looks like pretty smooth. All right, so Gotham City appears, and it looks just like Blade Runner. I wrote down here, like that's the atmosphere. I literally thought, I was like, wait a minute, are we in Blade Runner here? This is actually it looks like Blade Runner, but everybody's dressed up like it's the 1920s. You know,
I've put 40s.
Okay,
it's Blade Runner Art Deco. That's what it is. And
I got the Crow vibe from it.
That's a good comparison too.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, that is very. That's got a lot of Gothic art. Well, a bit of Art Deco, but very Gothic. But yeah.
All right, so we're in the city, and some guy gets his cab taken by a guy on a date with a woman. Poor guy. Same guy's he apparently has a wife and kid with him. I wrote, "There's a hooker behind them trying to earn some money." Did you see that girl in the red dress?
Yeah. Look,
That was definitely a hooker.
There's a lot of weird background shots in this movie where you're like, did I just see that right? And then you rewind it and you're like, oh yeah. Tim Burton decided to throw that in.
By the way, go ahead, Greg.
I've seen that in so many films in America. Someone hails a cab and then some fucking asshole just walks into it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, as the guy's opening the door so he can get in or let his wife in, some guy just gets in. Does that actually happen?
I wouldn't say so. I've never seen it, but I'm not a city dweller, so it's hard to tell. I bet people who live in the city and who used to take cabs or take Ubers now constantly may have bumped into a situation like that, but I would imagine it's not common at all. I just think that's a movie thing, really.
It's got to be a movie thing. I mean, in Italy, I thought it was weird because they had literal lines, like 20-minute lines of people just waiting for cabs in some areas. I was like, look at all these organized people. In New York or something, they're degenerates. Cab!
Yeah.
So
organized.
Oh, no, well, that's what we do over here. You're first, so, you bring in the longest, you get in the cab. But yeah, I just saw that and I was just like, that is such a trope. That really is such a movie trope.
It is. So the guy and his wife and the kid take a back, since they can't get a cab, they take a back alley. It looks kind of, it's one of those scary back alleys. And there's a homeless guy on the side up against the wall or something. And he says, "Hey, mister, can I have a dollar?" And he just gets ignored. And then the husband goes around the corner and he gets thumped by a guy with a big pistol. I wrote big in all capital letters. He's got a hand cannon on him. And then the homeless guy from before runs in, grabs his wallet, and they both run off. So they were in on this together. And then you cut to the top of a building where Batman is watching. And he turns to go back in the building, and I wrote, "This is one of the worst short animations I ever saw." Did you see how Batman? It's like an aerial shot from overhead, of Batman already at the top of a bed, and it just looks like a shitty shadow that like a Disney animator made in 1930.
It seems like something that Tim Burton was like, "Hey, we have the budget. Let me try something."
I've got two things I want to add to that.
Yeah.
At the start, when they walk out, the family walk out, everyone looks like 1920s to 40s noir dressage. And you've got, I don't know if it's Prince, but it's some funky music. It's got to be Prince, probably. But there's some really funky music, sort of like playing in the background. And it's like, this is not coalescing here. Like, the two styles, and the guy tells the woman when they're getting mugged, "Don't scream," and she doesn't. And as soon as he's out of the shot, it's like a car alarm goes off. It's like, what? Were you just holding that in? You are not helping here. You're not helping this situation, my darling.
So the guys who just stole the wallet are counting the money. The one guy says he doesn't like it where they are because of what happened to a great name here, Johnny Gobbs. Definitely sounds like a citizen of Gotham. Yeah. He says he heard the bat got him. So this is the first mention of Batman here.
The guy says he took a walk off a route. He got ripped or something, and got
something like that.
Yeah, and he was drained of his blood. And I was like, all right, we're getting an interesting Batman. It was my first thought when I heard that.
Yeah, saying he's a vampire, but and we get our first indication of why this is a 15. I don't know if that.
Did anyone notice how after they rob the people, they are suddenly now teleported to a rooftop? Where
I had that down. Yes, apparently they're like high up somewhere, so they robbed somebody and then went up a building.
That's what I want to do after I rob someone. Yeah, a hike, man.
Yeah. So they keep talking about the bat thing. The other guys like, give me a break. So as they're talking about him in the background, you see creeping in a giant bat-like thing, and it's definitely Batman. And so Batman has arrived it looks like he's going to beat out these two guys. The one guy keeps saying, there ain't no bat, and chastises the other guy for believing in it. All of a sudden, they look up. Here he is, wings out. He comes down, and the guy with the pistol shoots him several times. Batman goes down. And it's like, well, you can't be killed already. It's the beginning of the movie. Yeah, wait a few seconds. Batman gets up, so he's got some good armor on him to protect him. Because those shots were very close.
Yeah.
They acknowledge that as well. We said they say it's body armor.
Yeah.
Yeah. After he gets up, he does a quick flap of his wings. It actually made me chuckle a little bit. He then walks up and kicks the one guy through a wooden door. The other guy goes to make a run for it, and Batman snatches him with his grappling hook, drags him back, picks him up, and holds him over the edge of a building. I was a bit confused because I thought these guys were... This is where I noticed that they were at the top of another building after they robbed the guy. So apparently they robbed the guy before and then got to an elevated position in the city. But anyway, Batman is holding him over the edge of this building, and the guy keeps screaming, "Don't kill me, man! Don't kill me!" And Batman says, "I'm not going to kill you. I want you to do me a favor. Tell all your friends about me." And the guy says,
I want to be famous.
"Who are you?" And here it comes, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Batman.
It was a good I'm Batman. It was a good I'm Batman.
Dude, Michael Keaton's and you'll see it later, he does do the thing that a lot of the other actors have done in the role of Batman, which is they have different voices for when they have the suit on and off. So I think Michael Keaton was the first one to do that, actually.
You would do it though, wouldn't you? If you
why wouldn't you? Yeah.
Yeah. And then you have Christopher Nolan's Batman, where you could understand a good 20% of what he's saying. Michael Keaton, I felt like I understood every word, which was
that one.
nice.
It just gets worse and worse, like as each movie. Like the first one, I think, not to get sidetracked here, but Christian Bale in Batman Begins, I thought his Batman voice is good. Yeah. But then as each movie goes on, Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises, it just gets worse and worse and more ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then Tom Hardy comes on and says, "Hold my beer."
Yeah. Yeah. No, I liked that was badass. Bane.
I liked Tom Hardy's Bane voice. Yeah.
I didn't know it was Tom Hardy.
Some people don't. Some people don't, though.
Yeah.
So you come to die with us?
I was born in the dark. I just like it's a ridiculous voice, and for some reason it works.
Yeah.
It's menacing. It's very menacing.
All right, so Batman. So he says, "I'm Batman," and Batman throws him back to a safe spot, and then jumps off the building and glides away. The guy looks to see where he went, and he's gone. So that was Batman's first fight in the film, and just beating up two guys.
Tell your friends.
Yeah, tell your friends, Batman.
Tell your friends.
And it's not over the top. Even his Batman voice is not over the top.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good. Cut to a giant poster of Harvey Dent, played by Billy D. Williams. Again, I really wish that in another timeline we got a Billy D. Williams portrayal of Two-Face, because Two-Face is actually my favorite Batman villain.
He's so cool.
So the mayor is speaking and names a mob boss on camera named Grissom. Then he introduces Harvey Dent to the stage, who makes a speech about the crime problems in Gotham. As he is speaking, we are now in a room with Jack Nicholson, who is watching the speech while playing with a deck of cards. He has a girlfriend who walks in, tall blonde. Jack says, decent people shouldn't live here. They would be happier someplace else. And I wrote, truer words have never been spoken about Gotham City. In almost every portrayal of Gotham City, it's like the worst place you could be.
It's like, why live here?
It is like Detroit. What we get to see is Detroit. That was the first sort of Detroit, Chicago kind of vibe. You know, like dirty, grimy downtown thing. One thing I want to mention about the blonde who walks in.
Okay.
So as we'll get onto in a second, she's obviously hooking up with the Joker, Jack Nicholson, and she was going out with
Grissom.
No, in real life, Mick Jagger.
Oh,
so
really?
A year after this film came out, they got married. So she clearly had no problem being around leathery old men.
Yeah.
So this role came naturally to her.
Nice. I didn't know that. That's a good little
factoid
there.
Yeah, she's a UK model. I think she's from the UK. UK model, I think.
All right. Interesting. I didn't even know who she was.
Yeah,
I don't think I've seen her in anything else, but that other blonde. We'll get to her.
I've seen her in a few things. Guys, just gonna come off for 2 seconds. Carry on.
Okay. The girlfriend says if the tall blonde, she says if Grissom knew about us, implying that she's actually Grissom's girlfriend. Her and Jack are having an affair, and Jack works for Grissom. So Grissom is the top mob guy in this story when we start out here.
Not the way to get a promotion, if you ask me.
It's very risky behavior on Jack, but he is crazy.
Yeah.
So the girl goes up to Jack, who is staring at himself in the mirror, and says, "You look fine." Jack turns and says, "I didn't ask," and then gives her a creepy look. I wrote, Jack Nicholson looks nuts in every movie he is in, but again, 100%. It speaks to what we were talking about before, where he's good at playing psychopaths because he probably actually is a psychopath. It's hard not to like him, though.
Yeah, you love him. You gotta love him.
He's crazy. He kills it every time. All right, so cut through the streets, and the guy Batman roughed up is crying on a stretcher. He's getting carted to the ambulance or whatever, and big capital letters I said, "Enter Porkins," which this is the guy. This is the character of his name's Eckhart, Lieutenant Eckhart,
it's the giant cop.
He's played by William Michael Hootkins.
That's Hootkins.
Yeah,
the infamous Hootkins.
Hootkins. Yeah. But I don't know if you know this, Quentin, but I saw Craig marked out a little bit when I said that because he plays the X-wing pilot Porkins in the very first Star Wars movie.
No shit.
Do you remember so they're doing the trench run, and the X-wings are firing all around the Death Star, and you got who was Luke's friend in the thing?
Are you driving the spacecraft?
He's one of the pilots, yeah. So Luke has a friend. Not Wedge.
Wedge.
Biggs. So you remember Biggs, his friend, his buddy. So Biggs is going it just says he's messing with his gloves, and he goes, "I'm going in. Cover me, Porkins." And then it shits this fat pilot who's like, "I'm right with you, Red 3." And that's this guy. But in this,
what's my name in the movie going to be? Yeah, you're going to be Porkins.
Fat ass.
It's the funniest name for a fat character of all. Oh, I love it.
You can imagine it. All on set, everyone's so nice and it's so loving. And it's like, gets the point. Oi, fat ass, get out of me.
Cover me, Porkins. All right, with you, Red 3.
Little do we know it's improvised and he didn't have a name. He just threw that shit in there.
That would be awesome if that was the deal. But yeah, this guy, William Michael Hootkins, is also plays that pilot Porkins in Star Wars.
Porkins.
The more you know.
Yeah. And in this character Eckhart, he actually has he puts on a deep voice. It's really raspy.
Yeah.
You know.
But
you already kind of you hate the character off rip when you first see him. You know, you're like, oh, that's not going to be.
He looks like a rat bastard. Yeah,
he does.
Yeah, he's just got that sleazy fat. Mm-hmm. I'm a cop, but it's like, who are you? What criminals are you catching?
I think they go for that anyway, because remember Craig in Batman Begins, that one guy, that fat cop plays that real sleazy guy, and he's got matted facial hair and
that's the Gotham aesthetic right there.
Yeah, if there's a hefty cop who has unkempt hair, chances are he's a crooked cop. Apparently. Sorry, I cut you off. Craig.
No, if you remember that Fast Show sketch that you did, you reacted to.
Yes.
It's just them, but corrupt and American.
They all work
That's
in
it.
Gotham. They all work in
It's like-
Gotham.
It looks like he's got like hot dog mustard stains somewhere hidden.
Oh,
under
100%.
his trench
Yeah.
coat. Just
All
sweat
right.
marks everywhere.
Yeah. Enter Knox, who is a reporter. And wait a minute, did I go a little fast there? No, I'm at the right spot. So
No.
yeah, he's got a real. This guy Eckhart has a real deep, raspy voice. Krupp Cobb. Enter Knox, who is a reporter, and he wants to know about the Batman since this is the 8th sighting of him apparently. And Lieutenant Eckhart says, "Sorry, Knox." Then the other guy, Batman, roughed up his drag pass, saying he's telling the person, he's going, "I'm telling you, man, it was a giant Batman."
He says they slipped on a banana peel. These two slipped on a banana peel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was all right.
yeah, yeah.
But
Go ahead, Craig.
it's just something, especially from even the first scene, and they say like how it's so corrupt and it's known for criminality in this town. It's like no fucking wonder your entire economy is based on the sales of fedora hats. Apparently, fedora hats and trench coats. No wonder this place has gone to fucking shit.
Yeah,
Because everyone is wearing a fucking fedora.
they're stuck in 1940, man. All right, so here we go. Knox. I wrote this down because Knox is the actor that plays him, Robert Wool, I believe his name is. He's the guy from Bull Durham. I don't know if either of you saw Bull Durham. I
think so.
It's required for me since I used to play baseball.
I like the actor though. I liked him in this movie.
That's the one with Kevin Costner, and he plays a minor league catcher.
I looked him up. The only thing I took away from it was on this, he was 1 year younger than you.
What do you mean?
The actor.
Oh,
Yeah.
Knox?
Yeah, he's the guy playing that.
You mean at the time he was 35?
Yeah, yes.
Oh, really? Okay.
I was like, wow.
He looks a little rough.
Times have changed.
Yeah.
He had a
I bet he looked like that when he was 13 too.
Yeah. Before he was writing the newspapers, he was delivering them, and it was bloody hard.
Yeah. So Knox says that they say the Batman drinks blood, and they say he can't be killed. So a lot of supernatural rumors about Batman in Gotham, apparently. And then Eckhart, a.k.a. Porkins, says, "I say, you're full of shit, Knox." And flicks a cigarette at Knox and walks away. You want to make somebody... There's two things that you can do in a movie where you can make somebody really look like an asshole. One is to have him flick a cigarette at in the direction of somebody, or a character that you may like, or a character that's just a bystander, or you have that character eat an apple.
Eat an apple.
Yes.
Yep.
Classic.
For some reason, it's the fucking apple trip, man. But that's not in this. But that and the cigarette are like the two common ones.
Oh, come on, right? Eckhart.
That or if a character hawks a loogie and spits it. I don't know why that resonates with me, but if you ever see a character hawk a loogie, it's like, oh, you nasty bastard.
I'll tell you what, Eckhart has never eaten an apple in his fucking life, so he had to do that.
Yeah, that's true. That's so
But he
true.
actually had one of the better lines in the film straight after that, when he flicks it at him, and he just says, "You can quote me on that," because he refused to think about anything.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what, that's actually a really good line from a really shitty character.
Yes, it is. All right, cut to Knox, who's he walked away from. Sorry, I replaced. I got a mess up here in my notes here.
Does it then
Knox,
it cuts to then back in the he's back in the newsroom or something like that?
it's because Eckhart walked down an alley.
Eckhart goes to see Jack.
Yeah, and he goes down an alley where he meets with Jack Nicholson, who is in full 1930s mob attire, as we keep alluding to. Jack gives money to him and says Harvey Dent has been sniffing around. Eckhart says, "If there is a problem, I will deal with it." Jack says, "Your problems are our problems." Eckhart says he answers to Grissom and not to psychos. There was more back and forth between the two, so even though they're kind of on the same team, they do not like each other.
Eckhart calls him a nut job.
Yeah, more than once. Eckhart calls him crazy, and Jack pushes him into a wall, and then Eckhart draws his pistol, and another guy appears over Jack's shoulder and draws his pistol.
I love that scene.
Yeah,
I really did.
Kind of cool. Jack says, "You better be sure." Jack says, "See, you can make a good decision when you try." And does a creepy laugh and an even creepier smile and walks away.
And King Boomer, what's that guy called who pulls the gun?
What's what guy called? Oh, Bob. Oh, yes.
He's called Bob.
His name's Bob. Yes, that is. We'll see more of.
I was like, "What are we pointing to there?"
Yeah, I was like, "What?"
I see it now.
I was like, "Is his name Dick?" Because that's what he's pointing at.
No, I don't know that.
Yeah. So
Sorry.
There. Cut to what looks like City Hall, and it's daytime now. There's some pretty cool backdrop shots where you see how rundown and smoggy and dirty Gotham is, even during the day. So that's pretty cool. Some of the faraway shots, it's very artsy, and you don't see shots like that much anymore. You know what I mean?
You can tell it's matte painting and backdrops. One thing that does come up, and it's only come up at this point, so I'm not jumping too far ahead. It happens throughout the film. The whole steam, I know it comes out of the vents. I've seen it, but it's again, I've never seen it happen in any real life documentary, real life happenings. Does that happen?
The steam's coming out of like the
Yeah, it just looks like this like smoke.
I'll tell you one. Yeah, but mostly out of like the manhole covers, that kind of thing. I'll tell you from experience because I lived in Baltimore for a couple of years, and some of the manhole covers in that city, like the steam comes out of them quite often at night.
Probably not as much as in movies, though, right? Because they're like
I've never looked into why.
Yeah,
but it does. Yeah, it does happen.
Oh, it looks like a Whitesnake concert from 1987. There's just fog machines everywhere.
So enter the mayor, Harvey Dent, and Commissioner Gordon. The mayor, Harvey Dent, and Commissioner Gordon. And the mayor wants to have a big festival. He's going to be really annoying about this festival multiple times throughout the fucking movie here.
Yeah.
It's implied that Gotham City is 200 years old, and it's Gotham's anniversary.
So I did actually work that out. So that would be 13 years after the Declaration of Independence, I believe.
So Gotham's been around in this universe. That's crazy.
Since 1789.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and Harvey Dent and the commissioner don't sound too thrilled about this festival. I think they want fuck all to do with it.
Yeah, no balloons.
Yeah.
No, because the one guy just wants it to happen throughout the entire course of the movie.
Yeah, the mayor. Yeah, he's
like, I'll fucking shoot some people. I'll shoot some people if this doesn't happen.
Yeah, I think I wrote down the mayor. I'm pretty sure it's the mayor, but if I'm
it's got to be.
Please correct me.
It is the mayor.
Yeah.
He is the mayor.
Okay.
And Billy D. Williams, as glorious and charismatic as he looks here, he's either 1 year older or the same age as Jack Nicholson. In this filming, yeah. So wow,
he looks a hell of a lot better than Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, man.
Jack did life hard, man. He went.
Then again, he is a psychopath. Probably lots of cocaine-fueled psychopathic rages to get him to that point.
I can only.
Oh yeah. Well, it did him in good stead.
Yep.
All right. So cut to a newspaper company where Knox is getting made fun of because it seems he's the only person at this branch who believes that the Batman is real. He goes to his desk where a woman is sitting there reading a newspaper. Knox says, "Hello, legs." And she pulls the paper down, and it's Kim Bassinger who plays Vicki Vale. I wrote, she looks good. Her lipstick is very red.
She looks like a secretary in the scene. She's got the glasses, the ponytail. She is like, yeah.
She looks like a lot of teenage boys' favorite late night movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Scenario. Or a late night online video scenario.
Yeah.
This film came out 2 or 3 years after 9.5 weeks. I'm pretty sure they knew what they were doing casting her.
Mm-hmm.
If you've not seen 9.5 weeks,
not seen it. I've never seen that.
Was I the only one who thought that this was Harley Quinn? And when she's introduced in this scene, she looks like the version of Harley Quinn, like the psychiatrist with the glasses, blonde hair, ponytail. Like every depiction of Harley Quinn where she's introduced before the Joker, it looks exactly like her.
She's got Harley Quinn.
She was
supposed to be a blonde.
Yeah, the Quindell. Harley Quindell or whatever.
Yeah.
She was actually invented for the cartoon.
Yeah.
That's
and
correct.
then they bought it a
There's another point in this in my notes where I have this written down because something prompts me to think because I know some people who I think it has to do with the blonde woman we were talking about earlier, the one that married Mick Jagger apparently.
Yeah.
Grimace's wife.
I've heard some people argue that that was like a knockoff version of Harley Quinn because she's with the Joker at some point in the movie. But Harley Quinn, like you said, Craig, you're absolutely right. That character was actually invented for Batman the animated series. It was not in the comics prior to that.
Because that was until the 90s. That's right.
That wasn't until like 92 or 3, something like that. Yeah. So, Craig, you are very correct about that, I believe. Let's pick this back up here. So Vicki Vale is a photographer who says she wants to see Gotham wildlife, and she's talking about the Batman. She says she likes bats. She's really going to like this one later on. Mm-hmm. So Vale and Knox will be working together to find the Batman. Cut to a rising shot of a tall, menacing building, and Grissom is introduced. He's ranting about Harvey Dent. It appears Grissom's having a meeting with his goons, and Jack Nicholson is there, still playing with his deck of cards again, and this time he is in a purple suit. So he is wearing
a glimpse into the Joker.
That is a fly purple suit, by the way. I really like that suit.
Yeah.
I would actually wear that out.
It was a perfect Barney.
You would wear that out. I would pay good money to see that.
If it was
I could picture Brian walking
gathering
around
where everybody else is dressed up, I would absolutely wear that.
I could see Brian with the fedora in the purple suit walking around New Orleans.
That's not what you said. You said you would wear that out. Just you. Just
like on a regular day, nah. But if everybody else is dressed up, in suits and stuff, I'll be the one that stands out in the purple one in that one for sure.
I love that for you.
Yeah. So Grissom picks Jack Nicholson to do this next job for him, and Jack turns a card, and it's of course it is a Joker card. So he's not the Joker yet, but it's coming. He's already got the purple suit, so he had enough play coins to purchase a part of the costume from the in-game store. He just didn't get the whole set yet. In walks Grissom's girlfriend or wife, who is the same one who's having an affair with Jack Nicholson from earlier. She gives them a look, and Grissom ends the meeting. Jack sticks around to suggest someone else does the job. He doesn't want to do it. Grissom declines, saying he needs Jack to do it because he trusts him. And he hands Jack his cards and says, "Don't forget your lucky deck." Jack leaves, and Grissom gets on the phone where he calls the police and asks for Lieutenant Eckhart, a.k.a. Porkins. So Grissom looks like he's setting up Jack Nicholson for failure at this job that he wants him to do here. Cut to what looks like a casino. There are chips all over this roulette table panning in this camera shot here. Some girl has a basket collecting money for the festival. So this festival is a big deal. Eventually we're going to get around to that. There are tons of people at this casino. We see Alfred offering Knox a drink, and that's when I went, wait a minute, why is Alfred working at this casino?
Just randomly.
It dawned on me, even after, I've seen this a few times, but even after seeing it again, I was like, wait a minute, why is Alfred working in the casino? And then I was like, oh yeah, this Bruce Wayne is throwing a gambling event, I guess, at his house. That actually sounds pretty wild that a private citizen can hold a fucking massive gambling event and basically
you got $1 billion
turn your house into a casino for a night. That sounds crazy to me.
Yeah, when you got $1 billion, why not?
You've got the DA, the mayor, and the chief of police there. Isn't private gambling illegal unless it's a licensed?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I've seen the film Molly's Game, and that's essentially kind of the same thing. And even in episodes of The Simpsons, it's like you're not allowed to bet when they're betting in the bar. You're not allowed to do that. It's like,
Yeah.
it's illegal.
I don't know if it's I don't know if that's a good question, Craig, because I don't know if that's if you're allowed to do that or not. But I guess that's the same question I raised when I saw this, because I was like, dude, he just turned his whole fucking house into a casino for a night. That is not only fucking crazy. That is a major flex right there.
I'm sure Gotham City's got some allowed, I don't know. To worry about,
Yeah,
I do love. I've got to say, I love Alfred, like the actor in this scene while I was going through the casino, and when Knox drops him a tip, which I thought was quite sweet actually.
The $1,
yeah.
But even if it was $1, he's the only guy who did.
Yeah.
But then when he's following him around, I thought and Alfred, and he's very stealthy and just following people around. I thought that was really quite actually funny.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna cut to Kim Bassinger, aka Vicki Vale, and she taps a guy on the shoulder and asks which guy is Bruce Wayne. And it is Bruce Wayne who she actually taps on the shoulder. Michael Keaton, first appearance from Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne / Batman. Bruce Wayne lies and says, "I'm not sure." And Vicky walks away. Batman is horny, so he downs his drink and then follows Vicki Vale.
Which Alfred then picks up.
Gotta
he downs his drink, put it down, and then Alfred just swoops in.
Gotta shoot your shot with her. Cut to a crap table here where we were playing dice. Commissioner Gordon has the dice and looks like he's having a great time. And I'm not having a great time because I'm going to rant a little bit here because I used to work in the casino industry. This is just my own personal rant here, but I'm watching what's going on at this craps table, and nothing makes any fucking sense whatsoever.
Are they just throwing shit everywhere?
Well, first off, I noticed the stick man is committing blasphemy here. He's raking in the dice with his stick, but then when he rakes it in, he picks it up with his hands and then just throws them at the commissioner. You are never supposed to do this ever. You would get fired so fast if you did anything like that. And he's doing it repeatedly. And so what else is going on? The stick man is never supposed to throw the dice at a person. You're supposed to send it out with the stick. So now I'm watching the table to see if anything is actually being played or what kind of transfers are going on here. No craps is being played at all. Nothing. The money isn't where it's supposed to be on the table. The one guy who I guess is supposed to be the box man, which is the guy who sits down. He's not even sitting down for one. He's standing up. He's standing up, and on top of that, he takes one guy's money and then doesn't give him any chips in return. So the guy throws money out, which is basically you're cashing in. So he just takes the money. He doesn't give him any chips. So, and this is all while Commissioner Gordon is having a conversation with Knox, I believe, is going on here.
Yeah,
but I can't remember because all I'm writing is I'm so mad at the scene for how fucking wrong they're getting craps in this one shot here. At least put some kind of effort into it.
He was basically just trying to ask him about the bat, getting information from him and Lando, and
And go ahead.
Can you, from your knowledge, give us the etymology of the word craps?
Oh, where the word came from? I have no fucking idea.
Okay. I thought what, even if it was called crabs, at least it's not called craps. But, because I never used to know what it was called, but it's...
No, it is craps with a P.
Yeah.
I thought it was crabs.
No, craps.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, maybe craps, I say it a little weird with my...
No. I've always heard it as craps, but I thought it can't be called that. It must be called.
Yeah,
probably because you probably just lose a lot, and by the end you're yelling crap, man.
Yeah. So this game is what else is going on here? No craps is being played at all. This guy is supposed to be the box man. He's standing up, taking money, not giving chips in return. And this game is completely rigged in the house's favor because nobody's winning anything. Every time the commissioner rolls the dice, the guy just reaches over and starts picking up chips.
This is how Bruce Wayne got rich.
This scene was definitely Tim Burton. When he put the scene together, he didn't look up anything on how to play craps. And apparently none of the actors did either because he was just just act like you're playing craps and nothing's happening on the table
Have you
to
seen
make
Tim
any
Burton?
sense.
Does he look like he's ever been to a casino in his life?
I don't know, maybe. I've seen some
I don't think so.
I've seen some people that look like Tim Burton in a casino, trust me.
Well, Tim Burton's got quite an interesting look to him.
He does. And so do people who frequent casinos.
I'm just going to say, I think Tim Burton's is more artistic flair. I don't think the people at those casinos had artistic flair. I think they had a meth habit, mate.
They might have. Yeah. So Knox tries to get quotes out of Commissioner Gordon while all this is going on. He also tries to get quotes. Harvey Dent's there too, by the way. But both of them ignore Knox for the most part. A guy comes up to Commissioner Gordon and says, Jack Napier is cleaning out Axis chemicals. Apparently Eckhart is in charge, so Gordon immediately rounds up the troops to get out there. I found it interesting it was Axis chemicals because I think in now I'm not a Batman expert by any means, but I think it's Ace chemicals in the comics or maybe in the animated series show. I never thought it was Axis chemicals.
You can't ask me. I'll probably just say Acme Chemicals. It's a cartoon.
Acme, like Warner Brothers, because it's Warner Brothers.
Okay,
That's funny.
All right.
You know, do you know what they should have made it that?
I thought it was Ace Chemicals, but it doesn't really matter. Knox and Vicki Vale enter a room that has a lot of medieval artifacts and various other things. A lot of them are like suits of armor, that kind of deal. A lot of wealth is being shown off in this room because of course we're at Bruce Wayne's house. They are talking about Bruce Wayne as Bruce Wayne is sneaking up behind them while listening to their banner about him. Vicki Vale and Knox are wondering what some of these items are, and Bruce Wayne says the one piece is from Japan, finally opening his mouth and revealing that he's behind them. And then he officially introduces himself as Bruce Wayne. He says he reads Knox's work and likes it. He also knows Vicki Vale's work with photography.
Yeah,
I also think that's a change as well. I think Vicki Vale is in the comics is like a reporter or something, not a photographer. So,
as long as they make her blonde and sexy, I don't,
Yeah, good point. I'll shut up about that now. Let's move on. A waiter arrives and says they need to open more cases of champagne. Bruce says, yeah, open 6 of them. Who cares?
But no, he turns around and he's like 6, and then he turns around and then Knox is like, yeah, 6 is good. Like just 6. Knox is just
6 is good.
It's a random flex.
Yeah.
But this is after he's asked for a grand as well. When he finds out he's Bruce Wayne.
Mm-hmm. Then Alfred interrupts and says Commissioner Gordon was compelled to leave. Bruce says, yeah, okay. Alfred interrupts and says, I wish I could do a fucking accent for you, Craig, but I can't.
Come on,
very
please.
Unexpectedly, sir.
That was good.
That was probably better than mine.
It's quite seductive.
Fuck off.
Very, very unexpectedly, sir.
Yeah, he's got Alfred, the guy who plays him. He's got a great voice, actually.
I like this Alfred a lot.
He's like that grandfather Alfred,
Yes.
like your sweet grandfather Alfred kind of deal. I like how in every series, movie, Batman movie franchise, whatever they decide to do, like every Alfred is different in each one too.
You got to have a good Alfred. Without Alfred, there's no Batman for me.
I think this one sticks around. He's definitely in Batman Returns, and I think he's in
the next two as well with the Joel Schumacher ones.
So there's 2 movies. It's this Bat.
There's this, the next Tim Burton, which is Batman Returns. Then there was Val Kilmer was Batman. And it was George Clooney. And I'm pretty sure it's the same actor.
He's in, he continues with the role in those two because those two were directed by.
Right?
No, they are.
Oh,
yeah.
The first two definitely are, but.
But the Joel Schumacher Batman movies are absolutely in connection with.
Tim Burton.
First two, I believe,
wow. Yeah, I did not know that.
They basically it's basically like the same Gotham, just like creative changes when Joel Schumacher takes over.
The Alfred in this movie looks like he's already pushing a cool 96 years old. So he must have continued hanging out for a while, man.
Yeah.
Him and Christopher Lee were going to the same gym.
Him and Christopher Lee, yeah.
Yeah, they stayed around for a while.
Yeah.
Christopher Lee had a metal band to keep him youthful.
Yeah, that's tough.
Just imagine Sauron.
Yeah.
Saruman just in a metal band is hysterical, man.
So Alfred,
let's not get sidetracked.
Sorry.
So Alfred, he says, he's giving them the hint very unexpectedly, sir. Giving him the hint that he needs to put on the bat suit because some shit is about to go down. Bruce tries to leave, but Alfred reminds him to go a certain way, which is probably the way where the Batcave is. He then instructs Alfred to give Knox a grant before he heads off, which is like a rich boss of people shit. That's a rich flex right there. Yeah, give him a grant.
And then we've got
Casually walks away.
Yeah, give him a grant. See, I don't give a shit. So next, Knox and Vale are still in the room. But there's a mirror in the room which doubles as a surveillance place because there's cameras.
Surveillance or peeping Tom?
I mean, hey, if he's fucking people in that room, that's crazy because that room is full of artifacts.
Yeah.
Imagine banging
a little cum on the samurai.
Banging someone like over a samurai outfit. that's on display. That would be some wild shit, dude.
I was thinking of just more Batman just chilling in a chair behind that screen, just going at it, watching all these people. Yeah, you drink that 6 cases of champagne. Drink it.
I have
so much money.
I must be so boring because the one thing because it's pans. There's 3 cameras behind the 2-way mirror.
Yeah.
Sorry, the 1-way mirror.
That's what I'm saying.
No, and this is what I thought. Like, this is just at some point he's got in one of those outfits, and he's that kid who was pretending to be Phantom Menace, that fat kid.
Oh,
at some point he's done it. He's put the samurai suit on, and he's just gone fucking full on.
Oh my god!
And at some point he's just been sitting back with a drink, going, "Fucking killed it."
Yeah.
Oh man.
There's that, or there's the third option, which he lets Alfred watch.
Oh God.
What happened to you to make you think that?
So many things. So many.
Yeah. We now see Bruce Wayne. He's controlling what's behind the camera. He's in his Batcave listening to multiple conversations that were recorded in his house. I'm like, oh, that's why you had everybody over to find out what's going on in the city, eh? That's good.
Clever Bruce.
Might be a pretty cool idea. Cut to Eckhart with the A.K.A. Porkins. He's with the police. He has printouts of Jack Nicholson and says, "Get a good look. Shoot to kill." So Jack Nicholson is about to be in a lot of trouble here. Cut to Jack and his boys already in the chemical plant opening a safe with a blowtorch. They open the safe and it is empty. And Jack says, "We've been ratted out, boys. Watch it."
I love that he immediately picked up on that. As soon as they opened it and they left a few files.
He knew it was suspect from the get-go, I felt like.
Yeah.
He just would do it. Anyway, like, so he's trying to bullshit his way out of it. But I love the fact that it just showed that he was actually smart enough to go, "We're fucked."
Yeah.
Yeah. Now they start coming out of the room, and a cop jumps out with his pistol drawn and says, "Freeze!" The gangsters start shooting, and the gun sounds. I put this up here because I really hope that one of you two remembers this game.
No.
You might. It's the gun sounds are exactly like the gun sounds from the arcade game Lethal Enforcers from the 1990s. I don't know if you ever played that one.
Was that a Sega one?
It's an actual one where you have an actual gun and you have to point it at the
Was it like the pew pew noise? Was it as bad as that? That's fire. Yeah.
I didn't think of that, but I thought, geez, like they really went all in with the gun sounds on this because it's just.
So it was probably similar to like Lethal Weapon.
Maybe.
For the gun sounds. Yeah,
Lethal Weapon's gun sounds are something I very much remember being the.
Yeah. Lethal Enforcers was like those. It was basically. It looked like paper animation, and like a guy would pop out behind something and be like, "Eat lead, copper!" And you'd have to shoot him before he got you. It was that kind of deal.
Love that.
I don't think I've ever played it. I've definitely seen it. I don't think I've ever played it though.
I bet, Craig, I guarantee you, if you saw it, you would immediately recognize it. It's one of those. It's like if you went to an arcade in the '90s, there's no way you could have missed that because it was very popular. All right, so chaos ensues, and Commissioner Gordon enters with more police to enforce order. He asks Eckhart what is going on. He then gets on the megaphone and says, "I want him taken alive," talking about Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson is at a power station now and starts moving levers and turning wheels, which makes multiple parts of the chemical plant to start going haywire here.
Yeah, I've got a problem with that.
Okay.
I know you've watched Chernobyl. Have you watched Chernobyl?
Yes, the show.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, one of the greatest shows I've ever seen in my life.
Okay, that was one button designed to do everything. Why is this systematic failure? Like 4 levers and then like a bunch of wheels. It's like, and I think I've got on my notes just one button. Like maybe have a little cover on it that lift that up and then press it. But no, 4 separate. Why have that?
Well, because it's crazy. You got to think about it. And now it's kind of funny because you're like, all right, the movies are smarter than the people who were running this freaking nuclear power plant or whatever the hell it was. It's like, all right, so the chemical plant, it's just like, yeah, maybe it shouldn't be that easy for all of this shit to turn into chaos,
And I have one other thing that, God damn it, I have to mention. How the fuck is this chemical plant allowed to run?
It's Gotham.
It's open vats of bubbling liquid with shit pouring out the sides. Yeah. Wherever you see a scene where like it's
run by the mob. There's your. I would think it's run by the mob. So, and Gotham is the most corrupt place on earth. So
yeah, I don't think they have OSHA in Gotham.
that place would have to be worse than North Korea for that shit to pass. That place. I was like, how is that place running? But there's just no way.
Yeah. It sets up for a great movie and a great villain, so I'm in for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, I know. I'm nitpicking.
Right. That's basically what this whole entire podcast is. We're nitpicking everything.
100%.
Yeah. The cops are still shooting it out with the gangsters with the lethal enforcer sound effects. Enter Batman, who glides in and hits a goon with the grappling gun, throws him over a ledge and ties him up there. So the goon, he's hanging there helpless. He can't move, so he's taken out. Commissioner Gordon is below them and sees Batman do this, and he says, "Oh my God!" Like he's just seen a creature. The cops have their guns drawn at him, but they don't fire. So Batman, then he walks away, does something else. So Jack Nicholson is now at ground level. He grabs an axe and slams it into a massive container, and it starts spraying green liquid shit everywhere. So it's probably some of those Axis chemicals in there. Cops are still shooting it out with the goons, and one goon goes to run, but gets backfisted by Batman. It's like a real quick. He just pops out and is like, whack!
Batman's got a few of those in this movie.
Yeah.
That was straight off the Lion King. That was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you can't generate much force doing that. You're not knocking someone out.
Yeah. Jack Nicholson is climbing stairs to a catwalk and is followed by Batman. Batman dives at him with his wings out. Quickly kicks the gun out of Jack's hands. Batman picks him up and Jack says, "Jesus!" Like, so this is like a lot of people's first time actually seeing Batman. Yeah. In this world that we're in. Jack's right-hand goon. As this happens, Jack's right-hand goon, Bob, who's underneath the name's underneath Craig there. He puts a gun to Commissioner Gordon's head simultaneously as this is going on with Batman and Jack, and he yells, "Let him go or I'll do Gordon." And Batman reluctantly puts Jack down, and Jack just kind of looks him up and down and says, "Nice outfit." Batman is smiling at him in a creepy way. Jack goes to grab his gun, but when he turns around, the Batman is gone. And Jack then looks down, sees Eckhart, and yells, "Hey, Eckhart, think about the future." And then shoots and kills him. So Porkins has just gone out
Bye-bye,
by a shot from Jack Nicholson, man.
Does anyone else think that Batman should have maybe have intervened, like, I don't know, a second earlier? I mean, granted, he's a bad guy. I get it. He's a lieutenant. But, like, you think Batman would have just kind of swooped in and kicked the gun out of his hand? Something. I don't know.
As we learn in this film, Batman's don't kill philosophy. It's not holding up in this film very well.
No, it's not.
We will touch on that more than once. Also,
God, yes, we will.
It's actually kind of funny.
It's hysterical.
I
can't wait to dive into that shit.
I can't wait. Yeah, because that's like
this fucker's got a bigger kill count than RoboCop, right?
Yeah, he's up there with Ben Affleck's Batman that was just mowing people down with guns.
I'm not the I'm no Batman expert, but the one thing that I gathered from or that I always hear is that Batman does not kill.
That's his thing.
That's his thing.
Yeah. That doesn't have superheroes and he doesn't have superpowers and he doesn't kill. That's what makes Batman Batman.
That was brought in after the comics started. Because in the comics, I've not read them. I will full disclosure, not read them, but I've seen plenty of videos. He did back in the day. When he first came out, he would talk about that was unfortunate or whatever. It was this necessary. I'm paraphrasing here, but no, he did kill, and I can't remember where it came about that they said he didn't kill. That might have been even the 60s Adam West show.
Yeah, it was when Batman, because he says it, I think, in one of the Nolan movies, but in the comics, I'm sure he says it too. But he just says, if you kill, you're no better than the people you're trying to stop.
Yeah, but it became a trope. Batman doesn't kill because it then got into loads of media. I know there's a Batman animated show that he wouldn't kill the Joker, but the Joker had killed Robin. Something.
Yeah, he killed Robin. It's called The Killing Joke is the name of the comic.
Yeah, and I thought it drives him Robin mad or something. But yeah, it's not the hard and fast rule. It's not Batman. It's not engraved. Batman does not kill, and will definitely sleep with any psychotic women he comes across.
Damn right he will. Good man for it too.
Oh, they're the best.
All right. Well, to Jack's left here after he kills Porkins, Batman is waiting for him. Jack sees him and turns for a quick... This is immediately after he shoots and kills Eckhart, by the way. So after he's done that, he sees Batman to his left. He turns for a quick shot of the pistol, but Batman uses his Wonder Woman bracelets he has, apparently, to deflect the bullet. It looked just like Wonder Woman stuff. But the bullet...
sparks.
Yeah, the bullet bounces off a piece of metal and ricochets back into Jack's face, apparently.
Yeah, that shot, I'm pretty sure, probably caught us all off guard. It's like, did he just get fucking shot in the face? What's happening? Both of his cheeks are bleeding. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, Jack is about to fall over the edge of this catwalk. Or he does basically fall over the... Batman catches him at the last moment, though. Mm-hmm. Yes. Jack looks like the bullet... It looked like it went, through his cheeks or something. Did you see that?
It looks like he suddenly gained...
Over his face.
It looks like he just magically got syphilis. It looked like warts were just all over his face. Not every podcast has to have syphilis in it, but this one calls for it, okay?
All right, we've done 2 podcasts, and we've had 2 major mentions of syphilis on here. So we're getting into some patterns already.
You're completely right. It does have those
it's
sort
of boils on his face.
Like it's just sort of burnt and it instantly, calcified or something.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know what was going on with that, but it's not too important. It didn't bother me. I was just like, what?
Let's be honest, this film's not very
good. It's 80s makeup,
right. Yeah, I thought maybe the bullet went through his cheeks or something like that. But anyway, so yeah, he's about to fall over. Batman catches him. And then Batman loses his grip on Jack, and Jack falls into one of those massive containers with the green alien piss in it. So Jack falls in there. Goodbye, Jack. You think that's probably the end of him, right? More on that later.
Well, Batman looks like he's trying to save him, but unfortunately, the Joker, he did weigh more than 108 pounds.
Oh, that's good. That's
good. Yeah. Way more. Commissioner yelled. The commissioner yells at Batman to stay there. So the commissioner sees Batman after this, and he sees this whole thing happen. He's like, points at Batman. He's like, "Stay there." Batman is having none of it though. Batman hits the ground with a smoke pellet, and as he is engulfed in smoke, he uses his grappling gun to escape. I wrote Batman and his wings out rising through the smoke. That was looked very cool.
It was
very cool.
I'm going to say this one thing about that shot, though.
Okay.
He throws the bomb. He doesn't move an inch, so he throws the bomb like the smoke bomb, so they can't see him to shoot him. Doesn't move an inch, and all he does is then you can see his hand come up to fire the grappling gun. So it's like the guy's still there. The smoke bomb did nothing. If they just still pointed and aimed, they're gonna get him. Yeah. It looks cool, but it's like.
Yeah, you got to have some of that late '80s cheesiness in there, otherwise, you know. And I'm happy with it. It's kind of refreshing to see that in some of these films. You're like, oh, this shit's cool.
Yeah, I'm being the David Mitchell here. I'm nitpicking, but no, it looks cool as shit. The aesthetic on virtually all this film.
But you're right, though. The practicality of it, it's like it doesn't add up.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Yeah, it just makes for a cool shot.
Yeah.
In the green liquid, you see a wrangly hand come out, and you know that the Joker has just been born.
Like a creature of the Black Lagoon.
Yeah, it's one of those kind of things. Vicki Vale and Knox are now discussing the Batman, and Vicki Vale says she has a date with Bruce Wayne, and Knox is kind of jealous about that. Back to the Wayne mansion, and Vicki Vale and Bruce Wayne are having dinner there, both at opposite ends of this ridiculously long table.
Most uncomfortable scene I've ever seen in my life.
This is actually kind of a funny, short throwaway scene, just showing how ridiculous it is for the two of them to be having dinner at opposite ends of this massive table. You know, it's kind of funny.
It's the table from Coming to America.
Table from what?
Coming to America.
Oh, Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy
at the start, where he sat at one end, and the king and the wife, king and the queen. It's
James Earl Jones.
That's the one, yeah. And he's like, "How's the soup?" It's like, Bruce, are you neurodivergent? Like, you are not getting how talking to women works. How's the soup? Can you pass the salt?
Yeah.
Someday.
Bruce implies that this may be the first time he's been in this room, and if that is the case, you just made Bruce Wayne very unlikable. Imagine being so rich and your house is so big that you haven't even been in some of the rooms yet.
Facts.
And you've lived there since you were a child. Geez, you're basically living in a separate country.
Mama gave me my soup in the closet. I wasn't allowed in the pretty hall.
Yeah, man. Now Bruce and Vicki are reminiscing with Alfred, who is telling funny childhood stories about Bruce. Alfred goes to bed. Bruce and Vicki now talk about nice moments from their past. Vicki says the mansion, all the money, doesn't seem like Bruce at all. Yada, yada, yada. But now we are back at the chemical plant where Jack Nicholson has finally come out of the alien piss. A doctor is unwrapping his face and hands, or what we are assuming is a doctor. Mm-hmm. Jack rips more of the wraps off and yells for a mirror. Jack looks in the mirror and starts laughing hysterically. He breaks the mirror and starts walking around laughing. He's laughing the entire time. He's got a good Joker laugh. That's
great Joker laugh.
Yes.
What is going on with this doctor?
I don't know. I don't even know if he is one.
He looked like a vet that you wouldn't want working on your dog.
He looked like he had a German accent. I was like, is this some sort of Operation Paperclip thing?
Mm-hmm. They were probably going for the Joseph Mengele kind of thing.
His shoulders were up to here in this scene too. I don't know if you guys remember that, but he was just walking around like this.
He's like look at the tools I've got, and it's just just torture instruments. Yeah. And it's and as we find out very quickly, the Joker has got reach for to be able to get his hands on anything.
Uh-huh.
But he did it as Jack Napier, but as soon as he's the Joker, like, excuse me, he can like hack TV stations, blah blah. He couldn't get a fucking doctor with a clean room. There's like brown shit all over the walls.
That's the mob doctor right there.
Yeah.
He probably also had to go to a doctor that like no one wants to go to because he doesn't want the mob people to know that he's alive. He's got whatever plan he's concocting in that psychopath brain of his. So he's probably just like, yeah, I'll take whatever I can get at this point.
Yeah.
At least the guy had a mirror. That's all he needed.
That's right. So he basically and he's still laughing. He goes up a flight of stairs and he laughs himself out of the building, apparently. Cut back to Bruce and Vicki Vale, who are now a little drunk and are about to have some hanky-panky time.
Yeah.
So they go off to have some fun at the Wayne Mansion. Cut to Grissom at the top of his gangster building. The elevator opens and it's Jack Nicholson in the darkness with a gun pointed at Grissom. Grissom says, "Thank God you're alive." Jack says, "You set me up over a woman."
Favorite scene in the entire movie, by the way. Favorite scene in the entire movie.
So Jack is not a fan of the opposite sex. I can take it.
Well,
Grissom,
you saw how dismissively he was of her when what you said before. When she puts his hand on his shoulder, you look fine. And I didn't ask.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jack is not
childhood.
Grissom tries to sneakily grab his gun during this, but Jack says, "Don't bother." Grissom says, "Your life won't be worth spit." And Jack says, I've been dead once already. It's very liberating. You should think of it as therapy." Grissom says, "Let's cut a deal." Jack says, he says, "Let's cut a deal, Jack." And Jack says, Jack is dead, my friend. You can call me Joker." And that's when Jack then walks out of the darkness, and you can see he's finally purchased the rest of the set from the in-game store to appear as fully Joker, with the cake face, the red lips, the goofy smile, the green hair. It's all there. Purple outfit and everything. And he looks pretty good, man, as the Joker. He looks
so
nuts.
good.
Looks so nuts. Jack, yeah, good.
That whole scene where he's just standing in the dark and all you see is the white makeup was literally my favorite shot of the entire movie.
Wasn't that really cool?
It was my favorite shot, hands down. He's just sitting back there all menacing, and you have that anticipation building up just to see the Joker, but you're actually find yourself a little bit freaked out by him in that moment.
In the darkness, there's a element of that where he's in the darkness and you can barely see that he's got the white paint on him, and it's menacing.
Director of photography and the lighting guy just actually
10 out of 10.
nailed that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that was very well done. And I wrote down, Jack Nicholson is the Joker. I tend to forget how creepy and insane he looked as the Joker. Like, we got so many Jokers now, so many people that have portrayed the Joker over the years, but it's easy to forget until you watch it over again that there was a point in time where, when Heath Ledger was announced to be casted as the Joker, or Joaquin Phoenix, but Heath Ledger especially, they were like, "Oh, nobody's going to top Jack Nicholson. Nobody can beat this performance."
Oh.
And you're starting to see why people are saying that, because it's awesome.
And then he's unrecognizable in The Dark Knight.
Yeah,
completely unrecognizable.
I'd say there's something about that character that just brings out great acting for the most part. There have been a couple. One in particular, Jared Leto, who's not a bad actor, by the way.
He's great.
But his version of the Joker was just not good.
Yeah.
He's great in non-superhero films.
Yeah.
I think they were trying to appease like teenagers in that whole Suicide Squad thing.
Craig's alluding to he was that vampire character.
Morbius.
Who, Jared Leto?
Morbius.
Yeah.
I never watched that, but I heard it's like one of the worst.
The first quarter of the movie, I was very invested, and then it just takes a giant shit. The rest of it, it gets real bad.
That's going to be a movie we have to review one day. Then,
it's
that bad.
It's that bad.
Yeah. So
it's just gonna be bad critic.
It might be.
So, so Joker's still in front of Grissom here, and you fully see him now, and he's got that big grin, and he goes, "And as you can see, I'm a lot happier." And he then shoots Grissom several times. One of these shots is a behind the back pistol shot. He literally puts it behind his back and then turns around over his shoulder. And I just start dying laughing when it hits. It's like I'd start losing my mind laughing at this. I thought it was hilarious. I don't know if he made you guys laugh as well.
Oh, of course.
I loved it because I swear he'd already shot him. He wasn't. I don't think he was even trying to aim. He was just
he was just being nuts.
Fun.
Gleefully.
Surprised if a lot of Jack Nicholson scenes in this movie were improvised. I would not be surprised one bit.
Oh no, I bet Jack. I just bet it says Jack starts talking.
Yeah. I've never seen anyone do that in a movie, like a character do that in a movie before, where they it's so nuts they take a shot behind the back. It's just so funny.
I think I've seen it since, but if I have, it's absolutely got to be an homage to that.
Yeah,
it's never done before.
Yeah,
guys, coming off camera for 2 seconds.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna. So then the Joker laughs and says, "What a day." Cut to Bruce and Vicki Vale, who are having a snug after a Pound Town session that they had the night before. Back to Joker, who is now in Grissom's chair looking at. He looks absolutely nuts. I'm just loving Jack Nicholson right now as the Joker. He's amazing. But he finds a paper with a Batman headline and appears to be put off by that and says, "Wait till they get a load of me." And then he starts going. He does making this noise like "ooh, ooh," like and you're just like, dude, this guy's absolutely out of his mind, rolling his eyes, looking so nuts. Then just starts laughing hysterically. It's like this guy's got it. He's got it, man. This is the OG like.
He set the stage. He set the stage for Mark Hamill as well, man. I noticed a lot of the laughs from Jack Nicholson's. Mark Hamill definitely has his own thing, and it's phenomenal. A lot of people's favorite Joker, but some of these laughs, like the ooh, 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 like that's just so good, man.
Yeah, man, it's great stuff. Great stuff as with Jack Nicholson here. Vicki Vale wants Bruce to go to lunch with her, but Bruce says he can't. He has a meeting out of town. As she leaves Alfred inadvertently, he doesn't know, but he reveals that Bruce isn't going anywhere. So he kind of like, without knowing, kind of rats him out about that. He's not going out of town. So Vicki Vale is put off by this. Back to the newly minted Joker, who scares the shit out of the girl that he was having an affair with behind Grissom's back. The lady that Craig has told us eventually would go on to marry Mick Jagger.
I've got a problem with this scene. Where the fuck did he get that hat from?
What is that hat, by the way?
It's just like a flat, round.
Oh, the fucking sideways thing that looks like he's got a lump of shit hanging off the side?
No. That's later. Okay. This one, it kind of looks like a African-style hat.
Yeah, it does.
You know what I mean?
I had to learn to stop asking. Yeah, I had to stop asking where he was getting shit at a certain point because, like, every scene with the new gadgets, I'm like, you know what? He's a Joker. He just gets shit. He gets that stuff. So that's that. I had to just let that all go to enjoy it.
Oh no, yeah, you absolutely have to suspend your disbelief. But I was just like, right, he's got that and like purple velvet gloves on, or they might be green, one or two. And I was like, where the fuck are you getting this shit from? Gotham does not look like a town that's got plenty of tailors decked out with plenty of green and purple velvet and cotton, and like if there are, he's just like bought it all. Like, where are you getting this stuff from, mate?
He just found one shop that had everything purple and green and said, "This is mine."
Yeah.
He went to purple and greens and just bought it out.
Yeah.
Luckily, it was his size.
Yeah. So Joker, he also has a martini, and Craig got to it before I could. I wrote down he has a goofy hat and a very all in capital letters, very purple outfit. But he scares the shit out of the blonde girl. Now we're cutting to Joker holds a meeting with Gotham's gangsters, it appears, to take over Grissom's operations. One guy says, "What's with that stupid grin?" And it shows the Joker without the makeup, with the new crazy smile, and he says,
Terrifying.
He says, "Life has been good to me." It makes me laugh.
That's so good.
The guy then says, "What if we say no?" And Joker says, "Nobody wants a war. If we can't do business, we will just shake hands, and that will be it." And then the guy goes to shake Joker's hand. They shake hands, and a loud electric noise starts going off. Both of their hands start smoking. The guy is shaking like he's being electrocuted. His neck below his face starts catching fire. Joker says, "Woo, we got a live one here." And he starts doing this song at the same time. He's like, "Oh, there will be a hot time in the old town tonight." And I was dying laughing at this again. Like,
he's just perfect, man. As the Joker.
So good. And then the guy then collapses into his chair, and his face looks like he was burned at the stake. He's so fucking cooked by this. It's
this scene, right? You've got all the gangsters there. It's like every stereotypical criminal gangster. You've got like Fat Tony with his cigar there. You've got like the bald guy who looks like he's a bouncer, but he's in a suit. And then you've got there's the one guy who was sat closest to Jack, who looked like the Crypt Keeper meets
the Crypt Keeper from Tales of the Crypt, right?
Yeah, but mixed with Sam Elliott.
Yeah. Oh.
So you got all them, and not only that, which you'll see again in The Dark Knight, the obligatory Asian gangster. What's he doing there?
There's got to be one. There's got to be one. Yeah, if you don't have an Asian gangster, are you classified as having mobsters in your movie?
No, not in Gotham. But yeah, not only that. Okay, this is where I get a bit David Mitchell again. Human body is 70% water. Tiny little device in his hand, in the matter of 10 seconds, manages to turn this guy into a fucking husk. Completely. Like, the power of this little device. Forget being a monster.
It's just a little button on his hand, too.
And it just, this powerful device, like, this could change the world. What are you ripping people off for?
He could supply power for all of Gotham.
Dude, it's basically Tony Stark's fucking heart in his hand.
It is. And this guy, not only that, and this guy who gets cooked is Raletti or something like that. Somehow, I don't know if you've ever accidentally burnt your hair, but if you've had a cigarette or whatever, hair burns really easily. This guy looks like a pizza after you've got drunk, put it in, got drunk and fallen asleep, and it's still in the oven. Right? Yeah. That's what he looks like. He's still got some hair going on, quite a bit of hair going on. And his suit, except a few random burn marks, is fine.
Yeah.
Physics, people. Physics.
Yeah, man. So, he burns this guy to a crisp with this... Good.
Tim Burton went to art school. He did not go to fucking physics. I'll tell you that much.
No.
Or to casino.
Yeah. No, he definitely didn't go to casinos. That's for damn sure.
Casinos, yeah.
Yeah, so this guy gets burnt to a crisp by Joker's hand button thing that he has, and then he blows it the doors burst open, and Joker's personal goons enter the room with Tommy guns, and he's still laughing, and he says, "Antoine got a little hot under the collar." Mm-hmm. He tells the gangsters to get out and think over it while he's still laughing. It's just fucking great laugh.
Yep.
That this Joker
I just love that they all came in with berets and shades on. Just the aesthetic of it. It just works. It's the stupidest thing, but
it's stupid, but it works. Yeah.
The Dark Knight definitely played homage to this scene as well, because as you see in Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight, they do that same thing with the whole pencil in the eyeball. You got to make one example out of the mobsters. That's another thing I just thought of.
and also the Asian gangster.
Yeah,
I actually had
just
that.
one. Just one.
Just the one. Only one.
Yeah.
I actually put that. I had that. I put Dark Knight foreshadowing in my notes when I was writing that. But it is. But do you know what? It works, and aesthetically, fuck me, it works fantastically. It really does.
Yeah. So he instructs Bob to go down. That's his right-hand guy, Bob. He instructs Bob to go down to find Knox and find out what he knows about the Batman. Joker then starts talking to the guy. He just zapped to a crisp like a psycho. So he's just sitting there dead. Burnt to a crisp. And
Joker's
he's talking to him still.
Full conversation.
Full conversation.
I love the one thing he does.
Did you guys?
He gets his tie, and then when he brings it up,
yes,
that has to be improvised.
Yeah,
I was like, that is so.
Yeah.
Did you guys catch the part too where he's like going to wipe his sweat off with his handkerchief and just smears white paint on half of his forehead?
Yes,
adding to how fucking crazy he is.
Yeah, and he's so this guy's he's talking to this dead guy, and he just all of a sudden he just goes, "I'm glad you're dead."
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one of it has to be one of those iconic lines from the Jack Nicholson Joker.
Top
I'm
tier,
glad, I'm glad you're dead. He walks away laughing like an absolute maniac. Again, I'm just keep writing down like I keep forgetting how great Jack Nicholson's Joker was. It's just top-notch stuff here.
You can see why people was going Heath Ledger only, but
tough act to follow, man. He really killed it.
Back to Knox and Vicki Vale. They're trying to get info on Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne gets into a car, leaves his house while being followed in another vehicle. He's being followed by Vicki Vale in another vehicle. They are now in the city. Bruce is now on foot, and Vicki follows him. Bruce goes to a building that has hotel written on the front. He pulls out 2 roses and places them on the ground in front of the building. Now, we know what happened here because we all know this backstory with Batman. So if you don't know, I don't know what you're doing watching this review video at this point. You know, but Vicki does not understand it yet, but and nor does the audience if the audience doesn't know about Batman's backstory. But we know.
I've got something that he's bringing up here. It's not about backstory. So Vicki gets out the car. The window's down. You see her when she opens the door. She pushes it with her hand out, like coming outside of the window of the car. Closes the door. Windows down. Car's unlocked. This Gotham is crime-ridden. Fucking smart girl, Vicki.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, well, the car looked like a piece of shit, to be honest. And we'll get to in a minute. I think I know why she's not bothered about the car.
That's another good thing you just brought up because, in my opinion, cars from the 80s look like absolute shit.
Yeah.
Or at least they did it in the United States. I mean, like, I think of cars from the 80s and the 90s too, and I'm immediately like, ugh. They just
70s was a good decade.
70s and 60s they looked way better.
Yeah. 80s cars here, fucking hell. But no, I thought the car looks like a piece of shit, but there's something that makes me think, I really don't think she cared about the car.
No.
She probably got a taxi home.
Yeah.
Maybe she can afford another
Bruce
one with,
Wayne
money from the photography.
Bruce Wayne laid down the pipe. You know, he laid that pipe down so good that Miss Vicki decided to then stalk him, wait outside of his house, proceed to follow him for the entire day. She was batshit crazy right up there with the Joker, in my opinion. I don't care if she's doing a story. He laid it down. She was like, so like, you want to go get some coffee? We could, and then just waits outside of his house for him. I just remember thinking while watching that, she is just A1 stalker material right there.
I've got a different take on that, and we'll get to it in a bit.
Heard that.
Okay. All right. So cut the Knox in front of City Hall where reporters are waiting for some of the gangsters from the Joker meeting to talk to them. Gotham must be pretty fucked up if gangsters are openly talking to reporters about their dealings. Like, they can just tell them about all their crime and not get arrested. Like, Gotham, it must be a really fucked up place if shit like that is going on.
Half the police officers are on that payroll, you know?
Yeah, what'd you say, Craig?
Didn't Al Capone do that though? He never openly admitted.
A little bit, but he didn't talk about their dealings though. Like,
he didn't say that. He wouldn't do that. He'd sort of, me, why would I ever do that? And then
right, yes.
It was like cult personality, and then
he kind of like was like the gangster version of like a movie star, you know, like I'm, you know.
Well,
anyway. He's giving food out to hungry families and shit.
Yeah.
So weird cult personality.
So these gangsters from the Joker, the meeting with the Joker earlier, are all on the steps of like. Looks like City Hall or something, and then reporters are talking to him. Vicki Vale and Bruce Wayne are spectating this, and in walks a mime, doing goofy mime shit behind Bruce, and it's
creepy mime shit.
Yeah, they're creepy. Yeah, and then Bruce sees him, looks directly at him. He looks like he's annoyed by him, and like he wants to kick his ass or something.
I think Bruce is thinking, what the fuck is a mime doing in Gotham? This does not look like the sort of town that has street performers.
Yeah.
It just doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And he's staring at this mime, and then in walks another mime, and even waves right at Bruce, like right to his face. Bruce is like, what the fuck? So, and then there's
Bob with his camera.
Yeah, that is the cheesiest part of the entire movie for me. That was one scene I couldn't deal with. So you got all these reporters with cameras and notepads, and then you got the one guy coming around the corner.
Yeah,
like I couldn't deal with that. I was like, that's a little much.
It was funny. I just thought it was actually funny.
I think it had to be in there for comedic purposes.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah, it is. It is comedic. Just like how ridiculous it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a pretty wacko scene. Now it cuts for the camera zooms out further back. There's several mimes creeping in and getting closer to the where the gangsters are at this moment. Then the Joker reveals himself, and he looks like he's wearing like a Victorian baron's outfit in black and white. He's got the top hat, and he basically looks like the Monopoly guy without the eye thing, you know. What'd you say?
Monocle.
So, and then he has a very long feather in his hand. The feather is actually, it turns out to be a very long pen. But this feather is like, it's probably like 2 or 3 feet long. And Joker then takes the feather pen and, like a professional dart shooter, launches the pen into a gangster's neck, killing him instantly, like thwack, like that. Goes right into his neck. Joker then turns around and takes off his hat and says, "The pen is truly mightier than the sword." And at this moment, his goons and all the mimes start opening fire on City Hall with their. They all have Tommy guns now. They don't kill anybody, but it looks like they just did it to scare everyone. But they start shooting up the walls and stuff. Joker and the mimes get then. Excuse me. They get in a car to escape. Joker looks at Bruce Wayne and gives him a funny wave, and they drive away. Bruce watches them leave, and this is when Vicki Vale runs up to Bruce, like, "Yeah, what the fuck? You just fucked me. I need to talk to you, sir." That kind of.
Have you been?
And then he thought to himself, "This bitch is still following me. I need to go."
Yeah, she's following. She just followed me in the middle of a hail of Tommy gun fire. Like, this woman's crazy. So anyway, Harvey Dent is on the TV now, and he's being interviewed for comment. He says he has no comment. Then the TV screen explodes because the Joker, who is watching this broadcast, that's one of those, I don't know what they're properly called, but it's like one of those punching gloves.
Extendable punching gloves.
One of his new many gadgets.
Yeah.
That just appear because he's the Joker now.
Well, it's a joke shop toy.
Yeah. I
wrote down taking steroids.
Yeah, I wrote down. I don't know what these things are called, but it's like 20 feet long. It's one of the longest things of these I've ever seen. It's like a super long version of that one from the the second Jackass movie. Remember when he has that little heart thing that he makes everybody read, and then a fucking one of these pops out because Johnny Knoxville's behind it with a lever?
Mm-hmm.
It's really funny. But then Joker starts ranting about Batman and says, "This town needs an enema," and blows on a party horn that has one of those blowout
twice
things.
he gives it a hoot attitude. He gives it a hoot attitude.
A hoot and a toot. That's right.
I'm
Alfred.
sorry. Cutting it again, mate. To go back to when Quinn was saying about laying pipe. So that's what happens when you have money. You can fuck a girl who is a 10 and treat her like absolute shit and just walk away from her after you both possibly nearly died and she comes to check on you, and then she will still come running after you. That's money, people.
Power of money.
The power of Monet.
She found out she lied to her in his house. She goes to check on him when he possibly nearly died, and he just fucks her off. And
he's like, what the fuck are you doing here? So Alfred is pouring some water. In walks Bruce Wayne. Alfred says Miss Vale was concerned, and Bruce says, "Why don't you marry her?" Alfred is trying to get Bruce to settle it. I wrote down that, like, in every movie, Alfred is trying to get... That's the one common thing about all the Alfreds. They're trying to get Bruce to settle down.
Stop fighting crime.
With a nice... Well, in particular, settle down with a woman.
Yeah.
You know, trying to get him... Because
Anne Hathaway,
he feels like he needs something to... He needs a woman to, like, concentrate on instead of this crazy crime-fighting life, you know?
Yep.
Bruce then tells Alfred he needs everything he can find on Jack Napier, a.k.a. the Joker. Vicki Vale is on the phone and asks Knox to find out what happened at that spot Bruce Wayne put the 2 roses down at, which we know what that's about, but she doesn't. The Joker is at his lair cutting up photos and making a collage of some kind. He then gets handed a picture of Knox and Vicki Vale, and he immediately has the hots for Vicki. Mm-hmm. He sees the photo, it's like, whoa! His henchmen say she's dating Bruce Wayne. Is she, though? I thought they just had one night together.
I think she's probably went and told the entire town that she's dating Bruce Wayne now, while he's trying to avoid her with everything he's got in him.
Yeah.
She's just like, she told everyone,
yeah.
It was just one night, like, and now she's like, the whole town is saying that she's dating him. Yeah, you might be right, Quentin. She told everybody.
Was too good, bro.
She told everybody, man.
Do you think that's his real superpower? Because he's completely inept with her.
Oh, for sure.
When he's with Alfred is the wingman. Like,
I'll tell you one thing.
Yeah, Alfred's the wingman sitting in the chair of that double mirror, man, stroking it. He's got his own purposes, all right?
It's watching by the camera while she's getting banged over a samurai outfit.
Konnichiwa.
Oh, fuck. Let me give you this medieval dick, lady. As you're getting plowed in front of a fucking English soldier's outfit from 1300. Oh my god.
Ever held a broadsword?
I like how this is getting brought back to that fucking voyeur room again. That doubles as a fucking as an armor museum or whatever the fuck it is.
By the way, weirdest Japanese armor I've ever seen in my life. I don't know where the hell all that was from, but none of it looked traditional to me.
Can you just imagine when they get to that English armor, Alfred's there with his cup of tea. Makes you proud.
Yeah. So, yeah, because that's what I wrote. I was like, is she, though? Is she really dating him? She must have told the whole fucking town already. They only went on one date, had a little rumpy-pumpy, and that's been it so far. And now the whole town is saying that he's shacked up with this girl now, and they're dating. Anyway.
Is that some Americans use? I thought that was
rumpy-pumpy? Really, no, that's another one that I borrowed from you guys.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought that would be a exclusively British term.
Brian is turning into a Brit.
You guys have had a major influence on me, man. I wasn't lying about that.
You've consumed too much.
Yeah, that's for sure. But it's all fun though. It's all great stuff. Cut to Axis Chemicals again, where a truck is being let in. Now we see the Joker in the building telling a guy to ship loads of containers of the green alien piss. The Joker fell into earlier in the movie.
Super, super fast. I just got to go back, just really quick. The Joker's body in the chemicals. The police, no one decided to remove the body. No one thought to go look for this body. They're just like, oh, he'll disintegrate in there. I don't know.
Yeah,
like he's just gonna. Yeah, he'll be all right in there. Just
that's a good point.
But anyway, go ahead.
What are they gonna get? What are a big industrial sized slotted spoon?
I'm just like trying to imagine a cop like saying, "Yeah, just leave him in there."
Yeah. All right. So now we're at a news station where a broadcast is happening. Apparently, 2 women have been killed, and when they get shown on the screen, they have the Joker's goofy smile that he has on their photos. Apparently, they had a violent allergic reaction to something. Then the male anchor is reading something and is interrupted by the female anchor, who is laughing like a mad lady and can't control herself. She then falls and passes out. Then the Joker appears on the screen dancing like a mad Russian. That's got that like flailing.
That's valid. Thing. That's valid.
Yeah, he has a shopping cart full of what he calls Joker products. And the Joker has taken over the airwaves, and he wants everyone to take his new Joker brand stuff. In one shot, he has someone tied. One of the shots, he has a guy tied to a chair, and he's like, because this guy chose brand X. So I guess like you can't name like random brands or something.
Dark Knight homage to the Joker getting the one guy on screen in the Dark Knight. I felt like that was a little bit lighter, but I liked it a lot to see that Christopher Nolan used something similar.
I want to just say that the female newscast, news anchor, she sounded like an American trying to put on the most received pronunciation, like proper English accent.
If you've ever seen Family Guy, she sounded like the Family Guy reporter.
The Asian one, Chisha Chakanala.
No, not her. Like the American one.
Right. Oh, no,
hello, I'm Diane. Whatever it is, it sounded just like that.
No, to me it sounded like if you watch anything from like 1950s like English TV.
Oh, English
everyone
TV.
On TV. Yeah, everybody spoke like this. The Queen's English.
Gotcha.
I know you've seen a few things. I know Brian's seen a few things that were like black and white. Homage is black and white. I thought she's really trying to do a RP accent there.
Yeah.
Not funny, but I thought it was like
no, it's a good observation. She might have even had a little bit of that like transatlantic accent kind of thing going on a little bit, which is I don't know if you guys know about that. It's kind of like when like American actors in like the 1940s and 50s, they sounded like they had like a little bit of like a British like twang to their accents a little bit, and it's being dubbed the transatlantic accent now.
Wasn't it? Oh God, what's his name? Cary Grant, because he was English, but he just did like a generic American accent, I believe, to hide the fact that he was actually English, so it made it more appealing.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
That was in one of those videos that I reacted to recently, I think, a little bit. But anyway, so now it pans. So this lady, the female anchor that passed out, it pans over to her, who, she's the one that laughed and passed out. Now she has the Joker's grin on her face. I'm assuming she's dead. I think this new Joker cream or whatever. Kills these people, I guess.
For sure.
So I was a little confused on that.
Cream all over them and then they die.
Yeah, because I wasn't quite sure if they'd like killed these people or it just left them in like a state of,
Jokerism.
Yeah.
Good.
Like in the Arkham games, that's what happens. They just basically turn into a version of the Joker.
Yeah.
That was pretty well timed for that to kick in, though. That was
right.
Because it not only waited for her to get on screen, it waited for her to cut to a male anchor, and that's when it kicked in. So then she could start laughing, and it's got some good timing. That shit.
Yeah.
But then she put it on. It kicked in perfectly.
So Bruce Wayne. Yeah, so Bruce Wayne is watching this, and Alfred hands him the information on Jack Napier that he requested. The report describes Jack Napier as highly intelligent, and emotionally unstable. I think that's a very brief but good short description of the Joker.
It's Jack Nicholson's resume.
Yeah, pretty much. Or it's a
Yeah.
good description of Jack Nicholson,
Yeah.
the person. So there's now one of those spinning newspaper headlines that comes in like really fast, and it says "Cosmetic Scare in Gotham." Cut back to the same news studio from the last scene, and they have a new anchor lady because the last one was killed by Joker's new product here. Apparently, these two anchors
This is hilarious.
have blemishes on their face now. I guess if the Joker's products don't kill you, they mess your face up.
No, he's got boils on his face for some reason. You know, apparently he's got the plague, and like she can't brush her hair because she just looks washed out. But
Yeah,
like her hair, she's just got frizzy hair. Like
Yeah, no
her
one
hair's
wants
done,
to
but it's
use
all-
anything at that point.
yeah.
I wrote down that I remember writing this down. She looks like she went straight out from work on a heavy night out, and she looks in the clothes she slept in.
100%.
It's not she hasn't, you know, she's not been using cosmetics. She's had a rough night and gone straight into work.
So now the mayor and Harvey Dent are in Dent's office, and the mayor really wants to have this festival. He's blabbing on about this festival again. So you know something nuts is going to happen at the festival at some point in this movie, because it's getting mentioned all the time by the mayor.
Is that the part with the shotgun?
No,
What?
it's just a random throwaway scene.
No, I know. The one where he says, I'm going to go out there in the streets. He goes, take a shotgun in the streets and force people in there if you have to.
Oh, is it? I'm not sure.
It might be. I'm just saying that's a crazy way to get people in. He said, go take a shotgun to them and force them into this parade.
Yeah,
Like, dude's just taking it up a notch every time he talks about this parade.
his mayor likes to talk shit.
Yeah.
Alfred calls Bruce Wayne and tells him Vicki Vale will be 10 minutes late. Bruce is confused because he is not supposed to meet her that day. Now we cut to the Joker where he's in a robe, getting a purple robe, of course, getting ready. The girl he was having an affair with walks in and asks Jack where he is going, but she has one of those like creepy white masks on.
I call it a death mask.
Yeah, it's basically a death mask. You're right. I've heard people say that. Oh, this is where I wrote down the Harley Quinn stuff, because I've heard people argue that like this is like a knockoff. This woman is like a knockoff version of Harley Quinn, but I don't think that's true, because Harley Quinn's
Well, no, she came
character
afterwards.
was. Yeah,
Maybe this was a little bit of an maybe this inspired Harley Quinn a little bit, you know?
Yeah, but it's
maybe.
like, it's the opposite. It's the opposite. That's the opposite of a knockoff.
yeah,
Because then Harley Quinn would be a knockoff idea of what she was.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. This is just my own personal opinion, not to get off track here, but everything that they've done that has a live action Harley Quinn character in it has been terrible.
Yeah.
Not saying the character
cartoons are great.
or the portrayal of Harley Quinn has been terrible in live action on the big screen or anything, but the movies themselves have been terrible. You know,
That's fair.
really liked the second Suicide Squad.
Yeah, that was a fun movie. That was James Gunn, right?
It was James Gunn, the one with Ratcatcher and
And the shark. Pete Davidson plays the fucking rat or whatever that creature is.
No, Pete Davidson plays a guy called Richard Hertz, Dick Hertz.
Dick hurts.
That's how he got into.
Dick is the short version of Richard.
Richard, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Just Dick hurts.
So that's legitimately how James Gunn got him to play that character, because he was like, he wanted Pete Davidson to do it,
yeah.
and he said, okay, you can be Richard Hertz, you can be Dick Hertz, and that's apparently all it took to get Pete Davidson. I honestly thought that film was so much fun.
Yeah, it's a good sign.
And you got Idris Elba in it. Guy's a fucking amazing. You know, he's so charismatic.
Great.
got so much presence. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I genuinely, unironically, thought it was a great film.
Yeah, it was fun. I had a lot of fun with it, but it wasn't like I didn't come out of it thinking. Sorry, we can get back to the movie. We'll get sidetracked all night long.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's okay.
We've got
fun.
It's
All
not
right.
like it's not
I
like
enjoyed
we're
it, though.
a 5-minute clip.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Vicki Vale enters what looks to be it looked to be an art museum at first. You got portraits of George Washington and Napoleon on the wall.
She says at the museum on the message.
Does she?
She said, "Yeah." It says, "It should be 10 minutes meeting you at the museum."
Okay.
And I thought, why are they going for a meal in a museum?
Well, that's what I wrote down here. A lot of portraits. Washington and Napoleon were the only ones that I could recognize. Vicky walks up to someone and asks for a table. So apparently, this museum doubles as a restaurant.
It was a really strange aspect.
Place like that before.
Not only that, how well done up are the. This is something I thought was really weird. And again, it's one of those. Okay, obviously, shut your brain off. But how well dressed everyone was. It's like they've got really elegant outfits.
Yeah,
waiters.
Like 5-star dining restaurant type deal.
Yeah, but it's in a fucking. How often these high class people going into a museum to eat every night to justify this kind of cost? And,
it was definitely if it was a restaurant, it was definitely a high end restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen
absolutely
anything. Yeah, you're right. Everybody was dressed up all nice. The only like a building like that, I would always assume it's like a museum or like a bank. It just had that kind of like museum or bank look to it.
It looked like a bank. It looked like a bank.
It looked fantastic, though. I remember thinking the shot where
it did look good. Yeah,
I thought
the part that throws you off though is when they sit down to like she gets a table like it's a fucking restaurant. That's
and it like overlooks the balcony of the museum, and then the place doesn't look like a restaurant for a second. Not in 1 second in that whole scene did that look like a restaurant.
Yeah. So the waiter comes by and gives Vicky a box that has a green and red poofy ribbon on it. And in all capital letters, it says urgent on the box. You know the Joker dropped this off. She opens the box.
Crayon.
Yeah. She opens
green
the box.
crayon.
Yeah, she opens the box. It looks like a gas mask with a message that reads, "Put this on right now." Dude, shit like this makes me laugh with this Joker. Like,
sweet and simple.
Imagine you're just sitting there, you get a gift, and then all of a sudden it has a gas mask and it just says, "Put this on right now." I would be freaking the fuck out. But anyway,
not to mention
like a kid's toy.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like it's fucking came straight out of a dollar store.
Then a purple smoke starts seeping in through the vents. Everyone starts dropping like flies. Some even fall over the railings. A couple people face plant into their dinners. And Vicky
the close-up shots of the cake.
Yeah, that's good editing right here.
Oh yeah.
So Vicky puts the mask on before she gets hit by the purple smoke. I wrote again. I'm not sure if these people are actually dead or just knocked out by this gas. I don't know.
I don't think it's important.
But then she decides to sit there. She doesn't run. She proceeds to sit there for an entire song.
That's right. That's a great point.
She decides to just sit there for 3 fucking minutes. It's like, all right, I guess I can hear one song. All right. I'll let you take it, Brian.
Dude, I totally didn't even think of that. I'm so mad at myself for not thinking of that. That's such a good bring up there. The doors open and in walks the Joker. No makeup this time. But he says, "Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds." And he twirls his cane, and a guy behind him who looks like Jesse the Body Ventura turns on a massive boombox, which you will never see one of those today. This is very 1980s.
It's got an EQ on it. And hit, mate. Another David Mitchell problem. So he comes in and he's playing Prince. Right?
Yeah, they're playing the Party Man song. I actually really like the song.
It's a fun song.
As fuck. It's a one tape deck. So above it, you've got like the EQ. You've got one tape, and then when they go and sit down, and he presses play on it, and it's like classical.
Classical music. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It literally looked like it was shot as a music video, and it took me out of the movie for those couple minutes, and I was like, I really could have maybe not had that in there. That would have been cool to not have it there.
It was chaotic, though.
Yeah.
I like it, and I don't at the same time.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's chaotic enough that it fits with. It fits with Joker.
So Joker and his 5 goons start dancing and going around the entire restaurant/museum and start painting over all of them. Joker even writes "Joker was here" on one of them in purple paint. So what the fuck? Like, why are they doing this? Like, is Joker trying to, like, I'm writing stuff down here going, like, what is going on? Like, is he trying to piss off the guy who owns this restaurant or museum by ruining his expensive paintings? Or it's like, what is the point of this?
Well,
He also, I also have written down here, he said one of the goons sprays on Napoleon's balls on his portrait.
Yeah!
He really wanted to spray paint over his balls, apparently.
Yeah. What did you say the guy looked like from Ace Ventura?
No, Jesse Ventura.
Yeah, the bald guy with the mustache, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got Nappa from Dragon Ball Z is who I think this guy looks like.
Yo, he does look like Nappa.
I can't help it.
Yeah. Oh my god!
You just throw some sunglasses on Nappa, and I couldn't help it, dude.
Oh my god!
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I had to get that out.
Have you seen the film Predator, Quinn?
I have seen Predator. The Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah.
Yep. So Jesse Ventura is the one who says, "I ain't got time to bleed."
Okay. I see it. I see it.
That's him.
Yeah, he's the guy with the Gatling gun, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think. But yeah, that's Jesse. He's from Minnesota.
Minnesota.
It was the
Jesse the Body
Minnesota.
Ventura from Minnesota.
From Minnesota.
He has that goofy.
I was a Marine. No,
yeah.
It was a Marina.
I was a Marine. You know, when we went down, I got them some sodas. You know, they said they never had a soda like that before. I gave it to them. He talks like he's got that goofy Minnesota. Because people from Minnesota sound like they're Canadians. They really do.
They do. They sound like the nicest people in the world when they talk. But the Canadians is right on track. But
Canadians are actually genuinely nice for the most part. Yeah. Minnesota people, like, there's something wrong with them most of the time. It's something odd. They're nice, but there's something.
You got one Minnesota person who's gonna watch and rip you apart. Don't you talk crap about us, okay? Please.
Yeah.
Brian, just this one for you. So Brock Lesnar, Mr. Perfect, who was notorious ribber and shit stirrer, Legion of Doom, who just beat the shit out of everyone.
They're all from Minnesota, right?
Brock Lesnar's from Minnesota.
Yeah.
No shot.
Yeah, they're all Minnesotan boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all fucked up.
Yeah, there's all something wrong with them.
Every last one of them. Favorite fight I ever saw was Brock Lesnar and Cain Velasquez. That shit was insane.
Yeah. So we got Joker. So Napoleon just had his balls spray painted by Joker's goons. Joker stops his goon Bob from messing up the last painting because he says he likes it for some reason. And apparently this entire I wrote down that apparently this entire sequence was done just to get up the stairs and sit at the table with Vicki Vale. So it still has the gas mask on her face and is just sitting there. So, but Quentin, you pointed out like that whole thing. It's just ridiculous when you think about it.
She's just like, oh, it's got to be Bruce Wayne. It's got to be Bruce. Let me just wait here because it could be him.
Yeah. So they turn to Prince. They turn Prince and his Party Man song off. Joker sits down and says Vicki is beautiful in an old-fashioned kind of way. Joker then lights the candles on the table with a massive flame. It's like
I want that lighter.
Yeah, it looks. I doubt it's real though, but it looks like a flame that from like flamethrowers that they used in Vietnam or something.
No, it looks like the dragon's breath from Constantine that we spoke about last week.
That too.
Yep.
Yeah, and all this flame came out of a tiny little thing. It was like a tiny little layer. Joker then looks at Vicki Vale's photograph, saying all of them are crap, until he finds one of a dead body, and he says that's the one he likes. That's the good work. This guy's crazy, man. Joker says he makes art, and he must because I forget to mention that he has that. Quinn, you mentioned this earlier. He has that purple painter's hat on, where like all of the hat is like, moving to the side. Yeah, I think that hat is like associated with painters.
Yeah?
It is.
Yeah, like artistic
that makes a
painters,
little bit more sense. I was trying to figure out what the hell was going on for a good 3 minutes looking at that thing.
You see a lot of cartoon, like if you ever see like an old school cartoon where somebody's painting something, they usually have a hat like that on.
Got
it. But anyway, Vicky says, "What do you want?" And the Joker says he wants his face on the $1 bill. Joker says Vicki Vale would take pictures of the Joker's work. From now on, Joker brings in the girl who has that creepy white death mask over her face, and Vicky asks why she has the mask on. She takes it off, and it looks like acid has like burned the left side of this girl's face. And
still pretty somehow, might I add?
Yeah. Vicky is freaked out by this. Vicky asks the Joker what he wants. The Joker says he wants the Batman. He thinks she knows where he is. Vicky says she doesn't know anything about him. Joker doesn't believe her and tries to kill her with liquid acid that comes out of the flower on his shirt.
Yeah, I've got a question about this, and it comes up later. Where is he keeping that? So this thing, like we find out later, it burns through metal in seconds.
It's his chemical filled pee. He has it attached to his urethra, and it just shoots on out at the press of a button.
What's this motherfucker drinking?
Chemical shit. Chemical
Craig's right. Where can you store this thing? Because later this liquid is going to eat through a fucking massive Liberty Bell. Yeah. So
I do not know where to bring this up. I missed it earlier, but I want to bring it up because it might give you a. But to go back to when the guy gets fried with the electric buzzer.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, he tells Bob, he gives Bob some instruction, and then he stops him again, and then Bob puts the sunglasses on and nicks off, right? I thought, holy shit, Bob is his Baldric.
Oh.
Because the way he stops and turns, goes, and he grabs him again, gives him some more like clear instructions, and then goes, and then Bob just goes. Yeah, maybe. And I just thought, holy shit, because he's like the worst actor in this film, but he is the perfect actor for that role. And I thought, shit, that is Baldric.
It might be. Effect, that's okay. The effect that they, like, where the liquid hit, by the way, when this liquid comes out and it hits the wall, the effect where, like, it kind of goes like a smoke circle and then... dissipates up the wall. I thought that was pretty cool. I don't know how they managed to do that, but it was
practical effects for sure.
Yeah, it was. I liked it. It's nice when you're seeing something real happen.
Yeah,
it's like, how did they pull that off? The Joker is so after Vicky evades this attack with the liquid clown piss out of the water thing. She then grabs a container of water, throws it in the Joker's face, and the Joker is selling this like a WWE champion.
Yo, facts.
Pretending like he's getting blinded by this.
I'm melting.
It's Wizard of Oz. It's the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah,
from the water, the witch.
And then he does this for like 10 seconds, and then he unsells it immediately and goes, boom. And just as he does that, Batman comes in through the roof window, crashing through, where he lands next to Vicky, grabs her, and then pulls out a bat gun of some kind. It looks like he's going to shoot Joker in the face with this. He has it pointed right at his face, but then it splits in half and shoots grappling hooks to both sides of the room. This made me laugh because I was like, oh my god, he's going to blow Joker's brains out. But then Batman and Vicki Vale then use this new zip line, because it's created like a zip line kind of thing, to escape through the door. And Joker says, "Where does he get all those wonderful toys?" Well, Bruce Wayne is rich, sir. He can afford all this.
What happened to their
What was
aim?
that? Sorry, there was a big noise that just happened.
You want to go check real quick?
I think it sounded like Queen Mover dropped something.
Should we?
I think she's.
If you don't hear crying, you should be okay.
Yeah, yeah. If you don't hear anybody yelling that they're injured or anything.
As we get into a little bit more of the Batman action sequences here, just want everyone to try to remember his suit and how he has to literally pivot his entire body when he wants to look somewhere.
Oh yeah,
I cannot get over that.
He can't move his neck because it was
the costume design though.
flexibility.
I just like I don't know, man. Just every time you see him try to move, it looks so goofy because he's just like, okay, yes.
Yeah, he could. Yeah, he couldn't move.
He couldn't move his neck because of the
costume. I get that. I just can't believe that they like let that.
I think costume was like literally like 100 pounds too, or something.
Oh, that's insane.
That particular bat suit was like 100 pounds.
That's insane.
Oh man, I've got 100 pounds. I'll buy that now.
Yeah, right.
Nice.
Couldn't resist. Not 108 though.
No, where was I with this here? Now, so now
running outside.
Yeah, so now Batman brings Vale outside, and he says, "Get in the car." And Vicky says, "Which one?" And now that we have come face to face with the debut of the Batmobile. Can we
have a round of applause for this fucking automobile? This thing is a thing of fucking beauty.
It is gorgeous.
I hadn't seen it. I hadn't watched this film for so long, and I just went, "Oh my god, that thing is fucking awesome."
It's a very cool looking Batmobile. I mean, there's not a Batmobile that I think is bad in all the movies that I've seen with Batman. I actually remember this particular Batmobile. I remember very well because my brother gave me his Batmobile toy when I was a kid.
Wow.
And it was like a toy I had it wasn't that big. It was like maybe like that, but it was this version of the Batmobile, and I had it for a long time. And it makes me kind of sad a little bit because I wish I still had it. Because I used to play with this thing all the time, to the part where like the black paint on it was like wearing out.
So that was your go-to toy.
Yeah, it really was.
I'm so glad I didn't say what I was going to say. That my God, this car does look a bit like a penis, but I knew you were playing with it that much.
Oh, it's
got phallic.
It's a little bit.
I could see a dickhead in it for sure.
Yeah, I actually wrote something different here, but it's sort of on the same theme here. So I said it's got a massive exhaust in the back that shoots out a huge flame, which is really fucking cool. The front of it, where the grill would be on a car, it looks like it just has one big giant nipple on it. It looks like a giant nipple. That little thing in the middle in the front, it just looks like one big ass fucking nipple. They
zoom in on it quite a few times too. That's funny.
Yeah. Okay, so now that we've already hinted that we love this Batmobile, but how would you rate this Batmobile compared to other Batmobiles?
It is my favorite Batmobile. It's my favorite Batmobile. Yeah.
Okay. As a Batmobile.
Yeah.
As a Batmobile, because the Tumbler is not a Batmobile.
I would even include the Tumbler in that, and I would still say that this, in my opinion, is the coolest looking Batmobile. I think it's just so original.
It's so cool. It's the one thing I will say about it. All those shitty cars that we've been talking about, these 80s shitty cars, when he takes off and you've got the flames going, they were kind of keeping up with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That flame wasn't really doing much.
It wasn't doing anything. Well, it was more like, hey, look, they're trying to make the Batmobile look cool. I get it.
Oh yeah.
I can let it slide.
Damn it.
It doesn't really make you go a whole lot faster, Batman. Yeah, but it looks fucking cool.
Right? Yeah. This is not my favorite Batmobile, but it's a good one.
What do you got? Favorite?
My favorite's the Tumbler. I love the Tumbler. It's just it makes the most sense out of Batmobiles because it just wrecks everything. It's basically a tank.
Fair.
And a fast. Imagine a tank that could go like 200 miles an hour. That's what this fucking thing is.
What about the bike that comes out of the tumbler, though?
The bike is sick.
I mean, the bike is cool. The way it comes out of it, though,
with the wheels, is crazy.
Yeah,
yeah.
With the wheels, that might be with the wheel. If we're going to include that, because it's not a Batmobile, it's a automobile that Batman drives. But
Ben Affleck is dope too, though.
Well, I'm confused of like why you're saying that though. Like why is it not a Batmobile compared to the other ones? Is there some like function that it doesn't have that the other ones do?
It's a bike as opposed to a car. Batmobile to me is
it becomes a bike when after it self-destructs.
Yeah,
you know. It's just it's just a gimmick part of it. It's
basically a tank, and then this one has like the tank aspects too, with the whole shielding.
Are you saying that because it eventually will split off and become a bike that it's so ridiculous that you can't believe that it's a Batmobile anymore?
No, I'm saying it's not a Batmobile. It's part of a Batmobile. I don't think the Batwing. Okay, none of us can include the Batwing. That's got to be the coolest thing, or either one of them, the one in this film or the one on Nolan's. None of us are going to say that's a Batmobile because it's not. Even though
that's his Batmobile.
Yeah, but the Tumbler is
it's
the
not
Batmobile.
A car. It's not a car.
The Tumbler?
Yeah, but it's still like it's basically like a hybrid like tank / car.
Yeah, but so is the one in this film. It's a car, but it's got the fucking full shield on it,
No, I'm saying the bike isn't a car.
Yeah, agreed.
The Tumbler's a car. This one's a car. The one from 1960.
Are you saying like the bike and then the Tumbler, like the car itself, are one and the same, or are you viewing them as separate vehicles?
Separate.
Okay, so itself, would you classify as a Batmobile?
Sorry?
With like the car that breaks off and then into the bike, would you classify that as a Batmobile?
The Tumbler, yeah. The Tumbler classifies as a Batmobile.
Okay.
The bike, no.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, same. Okay. Yeah. I thought you were making the case that because the bike comes out of the Tumbler and the Tumbler has no place in being a Batmobile. I was confused.
No. Oh God, no.
How dare that bike come out of the Tumbler? You immediately lose your Batmobile status because of that shit.
No,
you bike making asshole.
The bike. Fucking hell, no, guys, because the bike is like.
We're not cutting this shit.
No. I thought I was confused about why you were confused.
Well, because you said the Tumbler is not a Batmobile.
Yeah.
No. I said the Tumbler. I think the Tumbler is a Batmobile, but the bike that comes out of the Tumbler,
that makes sense.
It's part of the Tumbler.
That makes perfect sense.
On its own, no.
Yeah.
But the bike is cool as fucking shit.
It is so dope. When the wheels spin with the fucking guns on the front, oh my gosh. 10 out of 10.
Yeah. And the size of the wheels as well. Imagine trying to steer that thing. Fucking hell.
Oh, yeah.
As strong as an ox.
All right. So the Batmobile is on the move here. He's being chased by the Joker and his goons in purple and green Cadillac looking cars. The Batmobile then shoots out a grappling hook, which wraps around a pole, and I guess he uses it as like a way to help him turn, like faster or something, or make a sharp turn, because it swings him around, and then the other vehicles that are chasing him just try to make the turn, and they can't, and they all end up in like a big pileup crash.
Yeah, it was quite a big street. I thought that was a bit dramatic. Like, can you not just said?
I thought that was overkill. Yeah.
Yeah. Like if it was like a proper like into a single like European street, like really small and narrow, that would be cool as shit. But it's like you had a massive street.
Yeah. So then
my God.
The Batmobile then gets blocked by a big construction vehicle. And this is where I brought up the Tumbler, is that if this were the Batmobile from Christopher Nolan's films, that thing would have just plowed right through this thing like it
Easily.
was paper. He would have just knocked it right out of the way. But this Batmobile has to stop because it might get crushed by this giant construction vehicle here. Batman and Vicki get out of the Batmobile, and Batman turns on the shields of this thing, and a bunch of panels pop out and surround the Batmobile, so nobody can get in or destroy it or do any harm to it.
It's got a nipple cover.
So
It's that front nipple. Just like in Gladiator, we're one for syphilis and one for nipple covers.
Yeah.
2 for 2.
I've never seen a nipple cover on a fucking car, though. All right.
So something I had to bring up about that car crash, like the pile-up. It comes to a scene where you've got like veg in crates were part of the pile-up. You see a cauliflower drop and bounce off a car.
Cauliflower?
There's a cauliflower that drops and bounces off a car and you see a crate above it, like a wood, one of the old schooly wooden crates.
Oh, I see it. I'm watching it right now. That's hysterical.
And it's like, what the fuck? Who's delivering veg at 8:00 plus at night in Gotham City?
In Gotham City,
in this crime-ridden city, and we need our cauliflower.
Yeah.
How are we gonna make dinner?
You can't be a degenerate without your daily dose of cauliflower.
Yeah.
I just thought it was the most random thing. I was like, cauliflower.
Yeah. So Batman and Vicki are on foot here now. They're being chased by a couple goons. Batman then shoots another grappling hook high up on a building to pull himself and Vicki high in the air. So he's got Vicki around. Batman says, "See that thing on my belt? Grab it and don't ever let go." Vicki grabs it and Batman drops back down to the ground. 3 goons stand over him quickly before he gets up, and 2 of them shoot him with their pistols. Which
Point blank range.
Yeah. Like less than a foot away. It appears to knock out Batman. One of them says, "Hey, no blood? Who is this guy?" And I wrote, Craig, you might recognize, because I'm not sure if it is him, but it looks like him. I wrote, "Holy fuck, it's the captain from Red Dwarf." I swear it was him. From the very first episode, the fat captain.
Yeah, Hollister.
Yeah.
I didn't clock that.
It looks just like him, and it sounds like him too. But I don't know. I thought it was him because I was marking out. I was like, "Holy shit! It's the fucking captain from Red Dwarf." So I don't know if you want to check that
I am checking now, mate. I need to know this.
Yeah. So Joker's goon Bob says, check his wallet. Like Batman actually has a fucking wallet on him. The fact that Batman would have a wallet on him while he's on the job is just hilarious to me. In fact, I'm pretty sure that George Clooney, his Batman, walks around Gotham with a wallet because he has he has a fucking credit card in that movie. Remember the Bat card where he says, "Don't leave the cave without it."
What?
Yeah. Have you ever seen that Batman with George Clooney?
No, I'm telling you, it's been Christopher Nolan and animated features.
It is one of the funniest bad movies I've ever seen.
That's nipple Batman, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Brian, do you want to know something?
Huh?
It was fucking him. It was.
It was
in Batman. It was also one of
Good eye, Brian. Good eye.
It was one of the mimes.
No way!
Mimes too? That's funny.
That's hysterical.
Yeah. He's an American actor, Mac McDonald.
Wow.
Really? He must have been living in the UK at some point to be in.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I know there's some American actors who. Sorry.
Red Dwarf, I think, initially came out before this came out.
Red Dwarf.
This came out in 1989. I thought Red Dwarf was the 90s. I could be wrong though. I don't know.
No, I think it came out. Red Dwarf came out surprisingly early.
Yeah.
1988. So 1 year before this movie.
Oh wow! I didn't know that Red Dwarf was that early. Wow.
Yep.
But considering filming, so he might have done that, and then that's why it was a one-off because he's only in for one episode.
Mm-hmm.
Initially,
well, he actually shows up again in what's that one season?
Later episodes.
Yeah, there's a season. He's in an entire season in one of them. and he's actually really funny at that season. He cracks me up.
That mate, good eye. The fact that I didn't clock that is, I'm embarrassed, frankly.
I was like, dude, that's got to be him. So anyway, one goon says, "Wait a minute, he's got some kind of body armor on because Batman's still laying on the ground from those shots." They try to take off Batman's mask, but Vicki Vale is up top one of the buildings now, and she takes a picture of them from the top of the building, and that prompts the goons to start shooting at her. She gets out of the way. Batman then wakes up and takes advantage of this distraction and starts knocking out all the goons with some martial arts quick punches. He does a couple more of these.
Yeah.
You know, and then I wrote in all capital letters, "Enter the most athletic goon in the history of goons." Yep. He comes flipping over a fucking barbed wire. He does a
Asian Yoda.
He's doing flippity dips and all over the place. Giant flip over barbed wire. He's yelling, "Yeah!" or something like that.
I can't believe neither of you two have written down what I have, especially after.
Oh no, I did. I can't say it though, so I didn't.
What'd you write?
Can you say it? Can you say it, Craig?
Mortal Kombat.
Oh, that's solid though. That's solid.
Quentin, are you thinking of something that's disparaging to the Asian community?
No, actually. We had this talk earlier. I told you what I had written down for this.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't privy to this.
We can't, no. Please don't say that.
Yeah. Episode 2 canceled.
Episode 2. First it's Mel Gibson and his controversy, and now it's something that we can't say.
You two are going to have to tell me about this episode.
We will later. Absolutely.
I literally, cause the way he sort of jumps and he's sort of jumped out of nothing.
Yeah.
Flips over and then he just comes out. I just thought,
similar to the baboons, he ate a pile of meth before he came out.
He did. So he flips over this Florida. He lands and pulls out what looks like 2 huge swords. He starts fighting Batman. He's taking swings at Batman, a lot of them. Batman's blocking every single one of these with this armor getup that he has. Every time the sword strikes his armor, sparks go flying, which is it actually looks really cool.
It's a badass scene
when the sparks go flying. Then to knock out this goon, Batman does a quick lift kick to the face, and that ends the most athletic movie goon I've ever seen.
Yep.
I put. If anyone watching this is a UFC fan, Lyoto Machida is him. Lyoto Machida was a karate fight, like he was a UFC fighter, but it was karate style, and the amount of absolute badasses that he knocked out just with a front kick, just clocking them in the face. He's sent them to the
He's
gulag. He just fucking sent them to the gulag, and I thought that's what he did. He just oh, that's shit. And then he just front kicked him. And that's it. He's done, mate.
Yeah. Batman then on the intercom unshields the Batmobile and calls it over to his location. He has to tell the Batmobile to stop on the intercom. That made me chuckle a little bit.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot of faith you got in some of your tools. It's coming right
at him, and he's like, stop.
Yeah, there's some scenes that they put in there just for Batman to say, "I'm cool."
Yeah. So
he's got a Cybertruck that works on Bluetooth.
Yeah,
pretty much.
He is Elon.
he's
billionaire entrepreneur.
Elon but fighting crime. Yeah,
exactly.
Elon Fox.
Yeah, Elon Fox.
Now the Batmobile with Batman and Vicki Vale in it are driving through the woods. It must be fall or winter at this time of year because the trees are barren and there are dead leaves all over the ground. The Batmobile then drives into a cave entrance, and we are entering the Bat Cave. The
turbo worked.
Yeah, now that we have a good look at the Bat Cave, is anybody concerned that Batman might kill himself at some point in this Bat Cave? Because there's massive ledges and drop-offs everywhere in this cave where you take one bad step and you're falling to your death.
As long as he's got his cape on, he's fine. He'll just glide on down,
Considering the amount of wine that he had in his kitchen, But
Fair.
going through, have you two seen Nightmare Before Christmas? Either of you?
I love Nightmare Before Christmas. Tim Burton.
Not me.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, Nightmare Before Christmas. Yes.
Yeah, Jack Skellington.
Yeah. Yep. Okay,
So when he's driving through the woods and the trees and they're all bare, I just thought, Jesus Christ, he just kept that. He's just kept that for Nightmare Before Christmas because the woods in Nightmare Before Christmas, that is exactly what they look like.
You're right. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah,
You're right.
Similar, yeah.
And then the weirdest thing about this, so he's driving through the woods because it's all secretive. He then goes onto a fucking fully tarmac road as he drives up to this blank wall. Like, if anyone by accident just was following this wall and just slowly crept up to this wall, I'm going to guess it's pressure censored or something like that, or it's got some sensor that brings up the stuff, you know.
It didn't even show it going down or up. It literally just looks like he Harry Pottered his ass straight through that wall.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
It kind of looked like it was a hologram or something, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just, I was like, people are going to find that. And where's the other end of this road? Is it just like randomly start at the end of this path, this very visible path through the woods? Like this road path?
Oh, by the way, how would you guys rate this Batcave here?
Oh, it's fucking awesome, man.
It's gorgeous,
like
but I like Christopher Nolan's got that on. He's my pick for sure. Yeah. His Batcave was so dope.
Christopher Nolan's looks like a real like. Yeah. It looks like it's based in reality.
Also, they introduce you with that scene of, little Bruce Wayne falling down there, and he experiences that. Like, you get to see it before, and you also get to see him busting ass, making the cave look so sick. This is awesome, though. This just looks like it's a massive ravine that has, like you said, with the giant cliffs, it looks like a massive ravine that Bruce Wayne's house apparently is just on without ever collapsing in it. But hey,
yeah, it's a man cave for a man, an emo goth guy.
For sure. Mm-hmm. Parents definitely died at a young age.
A lot of money. A lot of money.
All right, so Batman then goes to his station here in the Batcave and tells Vicki how the Joker has tainted so many products with his chemicals in the city. Joker is apparently lacing all these cosmetics with his crazy chemical shit. Vicki then starts interrogating Batman about his own behavior. Michael Keaton is putting on a different voice for Batman. Again, I think it works. It definitely works with Michael Keaton here. It's also making me appreciate Michael Keaton's Batman more now that I am watching it.
You won't let us see his face as well.
Yeah, that's right.
You can totally tell Michael Keaton in that mask in the car whenever she's leaning forward trying to look at him. Mm-hmm. And he does the same in there, which I thought was a great touch. Just to, she's trying to figure it out, and he's that defensive.
She's trying to So I think that's the scene. Yeah, go ahead.
I think that's when he hit the nitrous to make her avoid seeing his face. That was a really nice touch.
Yeah, that's true.
For her inspecting his face.
I never thought of that. You guys are kind of bringing up some good points that I probably missed here. Batman. So Vicki Vale is going on. She's really trying to get to know who the fuck this guy is. And Batman's had enough. He flaps his wings around Vicki. And in the next scene, she is back at her place. So I guess Batman either knocked her out or drugged her.
He roofied her for sure.
And then dumped her back at her place. Yeah. So he did something.
Wait, is that the part where he looks at her?
He might have fucked her again, too.
He tells her to shut up. He says, shut up. And then 2 minutes later, he roofies her.
Yeah.
Oh, we've all been there.
There's a scene in there's a scene coming up where I
Craig,
I went wild. I went wild because of what he says. But yeah. So yeah, she's back at her place. Batman
how does he get her there?
Roofies and bat powers.
He's got the Batmobile. Who knows?
She's got this massive fuck off apartment. This is going to have security. This place is going to have security. That apartment is so big. That's why I thought she didn't give.
His bat plane, whatever that's called.
He's Batman. He's got grappling guns. Yeah. Just put it through in the window. There's got to be a window in that place.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? That's a better explanation than I came up with. But yeah, that apartment. that place cost so much. That's why I think she didn't give a shit about that car earlier.
I want to know how she's making all that money off of just a photographer's salary. Yeah, or whatever. Yeah, however she makes her money, that's insane. If photographs were going for that much back then, holy shit. You know. Anyway, so she's back at the place, but she realizes Batman also took the pictures that Vicki took that night, so she couldn't give those pictures to the papers. So she's pretty pissed about that. Vicki calls Knox to tell the papers about Joker's products that are messing up everyone's faces and stuff in Gotham and killing people and all that stuff. So now there are newspapers all over the city telling Gothamites to not use the products that the Joker has tainted. So the newspapers are fighting back here. Joker is watching a broadcast where the anchor asks if Batman is friend or foe. Joker says, "I have given a name to my pain, and it is Batman." And then he shoots the television. This Joker really loves blowing up television sets.
Hell yeah,
he really does. Whatever he watches, he's like, "That's so great, I have to shoot it." So he's really a big fan of blowing up these TV sets here. Back to the Batcave where Alfred and Batman discuss strategy. Alfred suggests Bruce tell Vicki Vale the truth, aka that he is Batman. This sounds like a terrible idea to me. He barely knows her. But apparently, according to the whole town, they've been seeing each other for a long time. Because Vicki went around and told everybody that. Bruce then heads to Vicki's place. Vicki does not look very happy. She then says Bruce hurt her, probably because he hit it and quit it, honestly. To stop her ranting, he literally pushes her into a chair.
Yep.
Like, pushes her pretty hard, and then he
That's
says, look, he says, "Look, you're a real nice girl, and I like you a lot. But for now, shut up."
Yeah. That's the part. That's the part.
I died laughing when he said that.
This was the 80s, mate. This is back when this was a healthy discussion.
Yeah.
This
Different
is
time,
healthy
man.
Relationship talk.
Mm-hmm.
This is not.
At least we're not watching the movie and he throws up the back of his hand. At least it wasn't that bad, you know?
Bruce then said, "Massey,
this is the 1940s. Look at our hat."
Yeah, Bruce then says he has something to tell her. He then goes on a long, useless. It's basically like a useless way of not telling her that he's Batman because he's trying to do it. He just can't.
This guy's neurodivergent.
Yeah. And then before Bruce can get it out that he is in fact Batman, the doorbell rings. And in walks Jesse the Body Ventura with his massive boombox again, followed immediately by the Joker. Bob, who's the Joker's right-hand man again, as Craig has listed here. He's got a big box that he's carrying in with a ribbon on it, so a big gift box. Bruce quickly hides when he sees this happening. Joker grabs Vicki and he says they need to talk. Joker's mad that she ran off with Batman without saying goodbye. He then pulls out the creepy mask that looks cracked, the death mask that the girl was wearing. And he said that the girl, whose name is apparently Alicia, threw herself out of a window and committed suicide. Then Joker says, "You can't have an omelet without breaking some eggs."
Such a good line.
And then smashes the mask and laughs. And it flies into like 1,000 pieces. Bruce Wayne then reveals himself. And Joker says to Vale, "Another rooster in the hen house."
Very anticlimactically, too. He's like, you think he's going to do something in that entire scene. And then he just kind of is like, "I'm here."
Yeah.
I don't know. The bit that comes up next is my favorite film in the whole scene.
Okay.
I think we're thinking the same thing.
So Joker then realizes this is Bruce Wayne he's talking to. Bruce approaches and Bob pulls his gun, but Joker waves him off. Says, "Oh, I want to hear what he has to say here." Bruce leans in and says to Joker, "I know who you are." And he tells Joker about this guy Jack who hurts people, and Joker says, "I like him already."
Sicko. Sick fuck.
I love that line.
It's so good.
He says it so naturally, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, there's no sense of Jack Nicholson is acting. It's "I like him already." You just, there is such a good.
The same way he delivered that, like, "I'm glad you're dead."
Yeah. It's the fact that Jack Nicholson is probably a psychopath.
Yeah, it definitely is. Good thing he found acting. Otherwise, he would have been the greatest serial killer of all time. So we get to Bruce here. Bruce is basically saying how Jack, aka Joker, is out of his mind and he's getting sloppy, he suggests. Then Bruce grabs the fire poker from the fireplace and breaks a vase and yells, "You want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts!" Joker then pulls out the tiniest pistol I've ever seen. This thing is like minuscule. It's like this big. It looks like the pistol that killed Abe Lincoln. It's crazy. So then he pulls out this tiny pistol and he says, "You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?" And Bruce goes, "What?" Joker says, "I always ask that of all my prey. I just like the sound of it." And then he shoots Bruce and it appears to kill him. Joker then stands over him with a really crazy look on his face and says, Never rub another man's rhubarb."
Right, I made notes here. Does that mean Joker's wanking some other guys off?
That's what I was thinking.
Absolutely.
I was like, I can't think of any other way.
Flying.
Do you know what? It'd be on brand for him.
Yeah. Did you guys notice in this scene that she is casually eating popcorn while this is going down? Vicki is casually eating popcorn. Literally just stuffing her face with popcorn.
Really?
You need to go back and watch the scene. It is fantastic.
I can't believe I missed that.
I guarantee you they just accidentally put that in. I guarantee you they just accidentally kept it in.
Do you know what? I bet Tim Burton was there, just got the camera and just went, yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
You just have to see him doing that because it would just be so wacky.
Yeah, so Joker then grabs Vicki and recites some crazy poetry before he leaves her at the apartment. Jack Nicholson is making me really love this Joker again, man. It's so good. Vicki then turns to find Bruce, because remember, Joker shot him, but he isn't there anymore. There is, however, a metal sheet tray on the floor with a bullet smashed into it. I forgot that this is, before that,
he grabbed
Bruce Wayne actually grabbed it and put it in there.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
which is a lot of confidence that he's going to take a bullet, and that's exactly where Jack Nicholson is going to shoot. That's a lot of confidence.
That is, but I have an even bigger problem with this because that little thin metal sheet ain't stopping a fucking bullet, dude. Yeah. It is not. That bullet's going right through that fucking thing. Yeah. So that was kind of off-putting.
The good, the bad, and the ugly. What was it? It was like the grate off a
but that thing was thick.
Thick. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was a big.
This is like a thin tray made for a charcuterie board.
Yeah. So that thing was thick. This thing is very, very thick. It's like basically like a cookie sheet tray. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah, it's like a couple of sheets of tinfoil thin.
Yeah, that ain't stopping a fucking bullet. Vicki then walks up to the box that the Joker left behind because remember Bob was carrying that box in. So she walks up to it and a hand flies out holding flowers for a jump scare.
Dead flowers.
Dead flowers too. Yep. Yes.
And she faints immediately.
Yeah, it's a goofy jump scare thing. So Vicki Vale is talking to Knox now, and Knox reveals the news story about Bruce's parents in the spot where they died. So now we get the classic Batman origin story that's been told so many times. So many times. This is for like audience members that don't know that stuff, you know. So Bruce is speaking to Alfred in the Batcave, where Alfred presents Bruce with a file on his parents. I like how Alfred keeps the bats. Did you notice that he keeps the bat suit in a massive safe that looks like a giant? Looks like a giant bank safe.
Giant gun safe, like a vault.
Yeah, it's all
like
black.
Yeah.
So Alfred implies that he doesn't want to see Bruce killed in the next fight. That's another common thing with Alfred's. They're always so concerned that Bruce is like overdoing it, and something bad's gonna happen.
It's that father figure aspect, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It pays off in the Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, it does.
Mm-hmm.
I failed you.
That one is very good. That one got me choked up.
That's my favorite Alfred.
Yeah,
hands down.
So now we got
it's gone. Sorry.
Yeah. So now we got the mayor is now speaking on live Gotham TV, but the Joker with no makeup takes over the airwaves yet again. He explains how he's in charge of Grissom's old outfit now. There's one shot of Joker on the screen at a... So Joker's on the television screen at a bar, and everyone in the bar looks like they could give less than a fuck that a madman is threatening them on the screen. It's the complete opposite of Dark Knight, where everybody's looking at the screen in the bar. In this Batman movie, everybody's just getting drunk and having a good time. They're not even listening to him,
including a cop playing cards.
Yes, yeah, good on the bar. There. Joker then calls out Batman and challenges him to a fight. He says, "I have taken off my makeup. Let's see if you can take off yours."
Another one of those 10 scenes. So good.
Gives a big grin, and Batman pauses it while Joker is grinning. And he starts reading the old newspaper stories of his parents' murder. It looks like he is starting to make a connection here. And now we're going to cut to a flashback of that fateful night. We've seen this done before, many times now, in different versions of the Batman story. So we got young Bruce Wayne is with his parents leaving a movie theater, and they are followed by two guys. Young Bruce is looking very happy with his mom and dad until he notices that they are being followed. It gets very quiet, building up some tension here. And a man in the shadows is standing there. On the other side of them, another man is right next to Mrs. Wayne. He then lunges at her and grabs her pearl necklace. He rips off the pearls. Mr. Wayne goes to stop him, and the man in the shadow shoots him, and then he shoots Mrs. Wayne as well. The pearls start flying everywhere. This is actually a pretty visceral scene here.
Yeah,
the way they portray this Batman origin story here. It was actually really effective, I thought. Still, compared to the other ones. How would you guys think this holds up compared to the other ones? I thought it was very well done.
I like it. I think this is the most in-depth one that they've shown. I think in most movies, because they know that you've already seen it many times, they kind of make it a quick scene in their movies.
Yeah, it's like
this one goes definitely a little bit more, you know?
Yeah.
And going back to
this one sits on it for a while.
It does. Yeah. And then going back to the first scene of the entire movie, of this movie, how Bruce is watching, the kid with the parents getting mugged. I didn't know if that was going to be Bruce and them, so... I don't know. I thought it was really good, though. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, completely agree. I exactly the same thing. It's been that long since I watched this film. I was like, "Is this the Batman?"
Mm-hmm.
But that's not his name. I was thinking that's not his name. This isn't.
Once I saw him calling for a cab, I said, "Wait, Thomas Wayne would not get a cab."
Yeah,
that's so true. He's got a personal driver. Yeah. What are you talking about? That's so true.
Maybe I did think he'd go, hang on, I gave her that pearl necklace.
in the middle of the whole showdown?
Yep.
Sorry. Yeah,
that's fucked up. That's fucked up, Craig.
Cut it out.
No.
Just cut that out.
Nope.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
It's not even worse than the Mel Gibson thing from the last one.
At least that was funny.
That was good too. I like that, Craig.
The man in the shadows then says to young Bruce, he's just killed Bruce's parents. He says to young Bruce, "Tell me, kid, you ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?" And points his gun at the kid. He also comes out of the shadows and reveals himself, and he has a very sadistic grin. The guy he was with says, "Let's go, Jack." Jack then says to the young Bruce, "See you around, kid." So it cuts back to Bruce Wayne of today, and he stares at the Joker on the screen and realizes that Jack Napier, a.k.a. the Joker, is the one who killed his parents all those years ago. I think this is the only version where Joker is the killer of Bruce's parents from long ago.
Yeah. For the rest of the Joker version. Yeah. The other Joker adaptations, they don't give you much backstory about the Joker at all. They don't let you know who he was before anything. I think just the Killing Joke comic and animated movie tries to dive into that. But the Joker is just supposed to be this complete and utter mystery. Yeah. So this movie took some liberties, and I think it's great. I do.
Yeah. His name's Jack Napier in this. In Joaquin Phoenix's Joker movie, he's Arthur Blank.
Arthur Fleck or Fleck? Or something.
Fleck. I thought it was Arthur Blank. No, Arthur Blank is the owner of the Atlanta Falcons. Sorry.
Yeah.
Arthur Fleck is his name in that movie. Yeah.
In The Killing Joke, I think his name was Frank something, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. So yeah, he's had different names before. Vicki Vale shows up with Alfred, so it looks like Alfred revealed to Vicki that Bruce is Batman, and they're a fucking traitor. Batman needs a new caretaker if this one is just going to tell random girls that Bruce is Batman. You know, you shouldn't be doing that. So
he's gonna go tell the whole world.
Yeah.
But
no, this is Alfred telling all all these girls, like, hey, my boss is Batman.
He's got to get laid somehow.
Yeah. So Bruce and Vicki profess their love for one another in the next scene and discuss that. But Bruce says he says this about Joker. He says, he's out there now, and I've got to go to work. Cut to the bat suit and the utility belt being put on, and Michael Keaton is back in the bat suit. The Batmobile goes to the Axis chemical plant, which is Joker's hideout, I guess. He breaks open the gate. So this is the same plant as before.
Yep.
So the plant that got shut down by the police is back open and running again. At full blast. I don't know if anybody's got a problem with that, but that seems a little far-fetched. He breaks open the gate. The two machine guns pop up out of the Batmobile and start shooting one of the great doors, where it shoots a perfect rectangle out of it, so the Batmobile can get in.
Where is that name later on?
You're right.
And not only that, what's awaiting him when he comes through? This, because it doesn't seem like they've got any surveillance. When he comes through, every goon is there with guns pointed, ready and waiting for reasons.
Right, exactly.
Even if they saw him coming, they didn't have a chance to get there. Okay, they were expecting him. We're expecting you, Mr. Wayne.
So multiple goons now. So yes, there's multiple goons in there now shooting at the Batmobile. Nothing is causing any damage. Then the Batmobile puts those shield things on again. The goons are still shooting and have the Batmobile surrounded. All of a sudden, a metal ball starts slowly creeping out from the Batmobile, and it drops on the ground, and then we see a massive explosion happen. So it turns out that this Batman, he will not only kill people, he'll kill lots of people in an instant.
He will send a nuke.
So this whole thing about Batman doesn't kill, I guess that's
right out the window.
Not in this Batman world. Not in this Gotham. He just blew up an entire group of people in an instant with a ball grenade. It was basically like a fucking bomb, man.
The only time he won't kill is when he's telling the goons to tell their friends about him.
Yeah.
It's marketing. He went to
Take a card.
Wayne Enterprises.
Now because
Wayne Enterprises marketing manager.
Yep.
Yeah. Now because of the bomb that Batman set off, the Axis chemical building is on fire. Explosions are going off everywhere. I think it's safe to say nobody's going to be using this building for a long time. Batman gets out of the Batmobile to look upon his work, and a helicopter flies overhead, where the Joker starts talking major shit to him through a megaphone. He's just talking trash to him. So it looks like the Joker was not in the building. He's out there talking trash. He then takes off in the helicopter, and we are now hearing another Prince song. This is the other big Prince song spot in the film. And as this is going on, a massive balloon is being brought into the city on top of a flotilla that is attached to the Joker, and his goons are partying and dancing and having a grand old time on top of this thing. Joker is now throwing money out to the crowd, gathering around him. They're just loving it. Everybody in this parade loves the Joker right now.
Missed opportunity, if you ask me. But earlier in the film, when he said that he wanted to see his face on a dollar bill, when I saw all the $20 million floating down, I thought they were going to have the Joker's face on it.
Yeah.
Well, that's one thing he said was it was 20 exactly. He said $20 million. He's gonna give out $20 million, and he just starts fucking lobbing it out.
Yep.
But so it's called a float. That's what it's called, a flotilla.
That's what I call it. I don't know if that's the right term.
I just call him a float.
Queen Boomer calls it a Macy's Day parade thing.
Yeah, That's what I said. I think that's what I said last week. Because
You did.
A float to me is like something that's built around a car or like a vehicle.
Okay.
That's what I always thought.
Yeah,
But
it
no,
might just be like a small cultural difference kind of thing. I don't know, but I just call it a flotilla. I don't know.
Flotilla works for me because it's different. Okay, that's what it's called. Right,
Yeah.
never heard it before.
So yeah, everybody in Gotham in this parade, they love the Joker right now. He's just throwing money at him. Nobody's scared of him, even though he's been threatening them on TV.
He's throwing out money. He's playing free.
Yeah, he's been putting alien piss in their cosmetics for days now. None of them seem to give a shit. This had to be a much longer sequence than it should have been because we have to get most of the Prince song to be played during this whole segment. I felt like it dragged on because that Prince song was playing, so they had
Same
to
thing as the museum scene, man. Same thing.
Yeah, same kind of deal there. Vicki Vale is now taking pictures of all of this, and enter the Batwing. So this is actually, and Danny Elfman's theme song is playing. A nice moment here with the Batwing. This might be the earliest that the Batwing has been introduced in a movie series or TV series about Batman. It's because this is movie 1 in this world, and we got the Batwing in movie 1. It usually never happens. It usually makes an appearance later down in the thing, as you know.
I think they were anticipating this to be a one and done.
Probably, and then it made 400 million.
And then it was the 6th highest grossing film of all time at the time.
1996.
I still can't believe that.
Isn't it wild?
Yeah.
Like superhero movies weren't really a thing then, and then for it to hit like that is wild. I always kind of thought Spider-Man was the first like big superhero movie, but now knowing this, I'm like, okay, you know?
Yeah.
Well, the first Marvel film was big Marvel film was Blade.
Blade, wasn't it? Yes.
Yeah,
Blade was good.
It was like 99.
I only liked the first Blade, but it's great.
I like the first and the second. The second I watched on repeat as a kid. I loved the weird ones where their mouths open up to the side. It was like Predator. It was so sick, dude.
I like that. I liked all three. I like the third one for reasons Brian probably knows.
It's a guilty pleasure movie. Oh, Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah, that.
So So usually the Batman is saved for later down the road in these kind of movie deals here. But Tim Burton's Batman, we're seeing the Batwing in the first movie. The Batwing turns to fly towards Gotham, which in this shot looks like a foggy island in the middle of the ocean. Did it seem that way to you? I mean, I didn't see like land strips behind it. I know Gotham tends to be like an island off the coast of like New Jersey. In like the Batman lore kind of thing, or off the coast of Delaware. It's more like New Jersey though.
Do we know how Batman got to the Batwing?
No, I don't think so. I don't think we need to know.
Yeah, the same way he got to Gotham after escaping the cave in Dark Knight Rises.
Good point. Fair.
Because he's Bruce Wayne and he has money. There you go.
Yep.
Yeah. Things happen. Back to the Joker, who is making a speech to the people just to talk some more shit about Batman. This Joker loves to cut wrestling promos to the crowd, dude. He loves talking shit about his opponent. He's kind of like this Joker is like the Joker version of The Rock right now with all these promos on Batman. He's just totally getting after him.
He's old and wriggly. He's Ric Flair. Go on.
Yeah. He then sees the Batwing overhead and calls for his goons to wear masks. He then pulls out a radio transmitter, pushes the button, and the giant balloon that he has over him starts seeping out green smoke
from the ass of it.
Yes, the last time he used purple smoke. This time it's green. Vicki Vale says, "Oh my God, he's going to kill everybody!" This smoke is now all over the city, but only a couple of people drop dead. Everybody else is just running around. Doesn't seem affected. They're just scared. You know, this death smoke isn't highly effective, but it does kill some people. In comes the Batwing flying down to where the parade is. He hits a few buttons in the Batwing, and out comes a massive pair of scissors in the front of the aircraft here. Batman starts grabbing the Joker's balloons with the scissor things, and Joker says multiple times, "Those are my balloons." Like, this was making me laugh so hard.
He was so
like,
sad.
those are my
It was so
balloons. Like
nonchalant.
he's extremely sad and offended at the same time. Like, this guy would dare take my balloons?
How dare he?
says it-
Going back to the thing about the breaking down the chemical plant, like all those levers and all the buttons. Batman's like switch. It's like, Batman, just have a button.
Yeah, for like it's
It's a
like
pair of
7
scissors.
switches for like 2 things. Yeah.
Just have one button for the scissors.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys found that those are my balloons. I thought there was.
No.
The Joker's
Because it's-
expression when he said it was so fucking awesome. He was sad.
Yeah,
It's
He
so
took
out
my
of
toy.
character for him.
Yeah.
It's just like, out of everything we've had, how maniacal and sadistic and maniacal he is. Yeah, those are my balloons. it's like when a kid gets bumped and they let go their helium balloon.
yeah,
And
it was funny. It was funny. Batman then hits another button that cuts the wires, and the balloons are that the balloons are attached to, and they float away in the sky. They're never seen again. It then comes back to the Joker, who yells at this time, "He stole my balloons!" I'm dying laughing at this. Of all the things, the balloon sets him off so bad. He's literally like, "I will get this asshole. But if it ends my life, I will get him for the fucking balloons that he stole from me." It's really funny to
He's
me.
an
Well, he
upset
is a
child.
clown.
Yeah.
The guy's a clown. What do you think would upset a clown the most?
Joker then
Hey,
says,
clown, give me your balloons.
"Yeah." Joker then says, "Why didn't somebody tell me he had one of those things?" Then he tells his right hand guy Bob to hand him a gun. Bob hands him the gun, and Joker immediately takes it and shoots Bob dead right then and there.
Wait, was that the gun that had the pistol with the barrel that was?
No, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. No, it was a regular old pistol. So now, Joker's goons are now clearing the street. The Batwing is flying high above the clouds. Pulls up directly in front of the moon to make it look like the moon and the Batwing have made the bat symbol. Which is really cheesy.
It was cool. Iconic.
I loved it.
It was cheesy.
It was
cheesy,
but it
It was
is
so
so
good.
iconic.
Yeah, it's one of the
Oh my
memorable
God.
parts of the movie. Yeah, even when it's in front of the moon, it like doesn't move for like 2 seconds. It looks like gravity doesn't apply anymore.
No.
For about
That
2
is
seconds
Bruce.
there.
That is Bruce Wayne saying, "Look how big my dick is."
Oh, hell yeah.
Look at it.
And then
Look at my puppy dog.
it then falls. So the Batwing starts falling back to Gotham to get back into the fight. Then Batman hits more buttons, and the Batwing is armed with missiles and machine guns. This Batwing
Ready to
is
kill.
loaded.
This
So
Batwing
this
is ready to go to Afghanistan.
This Batman loves to blow shit up and fire bullets out of his toys. So, and I wrote here that this right here might be the greatest sequence in Batman history. In all capital letters. So what happens here is it's fucking incredible. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care how ridiculous it is. Because I'm going to read this out and it's going to sound so fucking ridiculous. Okay, so Joker is now in the middle of the street taunting Batman from the ground. Looking up at his Batwing, he's taunting him, which, I think if this was to be taken seriously, Batman couldn't even fucking see the guy from that far away. But Batman is getting closer, and Joker is just standing there, basically saying, "Bring it on." It's kind of, it's making you think of the Dark Knight scene where Joker's standing.
That's exactly what it is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That is it. Batman,
Another
vehicle,
homage.
guns,
Yeah. So
and bring it on.
Only difference is this Batman doesn't cop out at the end. He just goes full force detonation drone strike on his ass.
So Batman's getting closer. Batman then pulls out his visual scanning from like the X-Wing tech in the Death Star trench run in the Battle of
I
Yavin.
had that. I've got that written down.
Yeah. It looks like
It's like just little.
the visual scanning from the X-Wing in the Battle of Yavin, yeah. So he shoots multiple rockets at Joker, who is still taunting Batman, by the way. Batman has the Batwing's bullseye directly on the Joker, so he shoots rockets. But however, this is not enough. Batman hits more buttons, and now he's also shooting his machine guns at Joker.
50 cal machine guns.
Yeah, massive Gatling guns. I wrote, one, the Batwing needs to get its aim fixed because neither the rockets nor the machine gun fire is hitting Joker at all, even though the bullseye from that visual scanning is directly on him. Also,
there's that bit just before that. Batman, he's got these goggles come down. There's two like jam magnifying glasses, and he just puts them over. Like none of his shit works.
Yeah,
he can't aim for shit.
Yeah, so he's. I'm sorry, that sequence is so great. So he's literally shooting rockets and thousands of bullets into Gotham City during a fucking festival. Like, he's definitely going to hit some bystanders with all his shit, dude. It's a fucking heavily, densely populated city in the middle of a festival. He's throwing fuck all into this just so he can somehow manage to hit the Joker.
He's just secretly a serial killer who uses bad guys as an excuse to kill civilians.
He's gonna hit multiple people by accident too. Why do you need such firepower to shoot one man?
Dude,
like, it's overkill. This shit is insane. It's fucking insane. 59
people dead. It's okay. The Joker's gone to jail.
Yeah,
that's it. The fucking Joker's gone to jail. Sorry, 59 civilians dead.
That's the Avengers logic. When the
I'm dying. I don't know if I can continue this because if the scene wasn't fucking goofy enough, it's about to get goofier. Joker reaches into his pants and pulls out a pistol, but this isn't any normal pistol, mind you. This pistol is literally the Ron Jeremy of pistols. It is that fucking long.
It's the Peter North pistol, please.
It looks like it's like 4, maybe even 5 feet long, dude. How did he even keep this in his pants? This is ridiculous. If a pistol like this exists, I need to know because I need to.
You need to buy it.
I need to get my hands on this thing. I fucking died when he fucking pulled this thing out. I was literally doubled over laughing. And wait,
about Ron Jeremy?
No, we're talking about the pistol, man. The Ron Jeremy pistol because this thing is so goddamn long. So now he's aiming this thing at the Batwing. So think of that. Just think of the dynamic here. You have the Batwing that has missiles and Gatling guns, and the Joker pulls out just basically a extra long 6-shooter that at most is probably a 45 caliber, which is nothing compared to explosives and Gatling guns.
50 cal bullets.
Who do you think's going to win this exchange?
And don't forget the targeting system, the apparent targeting system.
Yeah.
He's fucking loaded.
It's so ridiculous. So he actually shoots this thing, and by the way, the recoil on this Ron Jeremy pistol he has is massive. He gets like knocked back like 6 feet. And he hits the Batwing, and it takes the Batwing out with one bullet. This scene is so fucking ridiculous, dude.
It's such bullshit.
It's so funny. It is so fun. But you know what? Like, I'm watching this, and I'm like, this is so great. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen, because none of it makes any sense. He shoots the Batwing. The Batwing is, like, covered in smoke now, and it crash lands in the middle of the street, causes a big explosion.
Pretty sure it lands into someone as well.
I think it lands into that building, which is, I think, the church that they're about to go up into. Yeah.
Okay.
Something like that. Yeah. All right. So that's the end of that particular sequence. Is one of the greatest things I've ever seen for all the wrong reasons.
It's ludicrous.
So Vicki Vale runs to the crash landed Batwing to see if Batman is okay, but before she gets to him, the Joker has his Ron Jeremy gun pointed at her. And now, if this gun
from 10 feet away,
if this gun took out the Batwing, it will turn Kim Bassinger into dust instantaneously if he shoots her. So she better be careful, okay? Because apparently this pistol is the strongest gun in the world. Joker takes Vicki Vale up into a very tall church. Batman climbs out of the Batwing wreckage finally and follows them. As they go up the stairs, it seems like Joker's Ron Jeremy gun is getting shorter and shorter. Did you guys notice that? Like, it was still long, but it kept looking like it was shorter.
They were like, how are we going to turn these corners with this 5-foot barrel?
That might have been the thought process there. I said the Ron Jeremy gun was losing its erection.
That's it. Batsy's wasn't around. Joker lost his heart on.
Yeah. He had no blue chew.
Yeah.
No blue chew, man.
Yeah.
All I was thinking all the way up that scene was, all right, someone's from the Crow watched this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, the tower with the bell.
Yeah.
And then being up there.
The wooden staircase. Yeah.
As they go up the stairs, it seems like Joker's gun is getting shorter and shorter. So yeah, it's basically it's losing its erection. There's a shot of Joker throwing Vicky's shoe over the railing to reveal how like tall the church is. This might be the tallest church I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's massive.
Because it's like I've never seen a church that was even remotely close to this tall. It's huge.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you
to Europe,
you gotta go to Italy, go to Europe. Yeah, go to Italy.
But have you seen one this tall? This one is like the size of the Empire State Building.
Taller, bro.
You know?
I mean, inside, it's like the TARDIS. It's just bigger on the inside.
We went to one in Italy that felt like I was getting sick if I looked over it because it was that tall.
Really?
It was horrifying. Yeah.
Okay. So the cops start surrounding the building, and Joker he's with Vicky still. They reach the top of the floor where there's a massive bell. Think of massive. Think of the Liberty Bell. It's huge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When you see this thing, Joker uses his flower to spray acid on the bell. Craig, you pointed this out earlier. He sprays that acid thing out of his flower on the bell that causes it to detach and fall down the church, breaking most of the stairs leading up to the top floor.
It's like on two massive bolts. Like I could weightlift with those things.
Yeah.
These things were like that big.
Yeah.
And I'm a big guy, so that's big.
Yeah, crazy.
Jesus Christ. And it disintegrates within about 4 seconds. What is he keeping this shit in?
Yeah. It also, when it finally hits like the ground level, it blocks off the entrance, so the cops can't get into the building now.
But he runs up and tries to push it for all of 2 seconds. Just Commissioner Gordon, like the oldest fat
He's
guy.
like, yeah, I'm not trying to get a splinter tonight, guys. We're just gonna let Batman and Joker duke it out.
Yeah. So yeah, the entrance is blocked off, so the cops can't get in. Batman still has access to a stairway that gets him up to the top floor, so he's not cut off or anything. Batman then reaches
the way he comes out of it. Did neither of you find it a little bit funny?
No, what do you mean?
Like, instead of just like cracking it open and having a quick look around it, he just sort of pops out of it. Like,
well, he's got that heavy suit on. He's got to move.
That is completely true. But I just thought it looked a bit comical. Like,
all of his movements are awkward, by the way, throughout the entire movie because that suit is so goddamn heavy and he can't turn his head. Every movement that Michael Keaton makes in the suit is like really awkward. Kind of adds to the character a little bit, though, you know. But so Batman gets to the top floor, and he's looking around for Joker and Vicki Vale. Joker starts talking shit to him in the shadows. Joker's always talking shit to Batman in this. Shall we dance? In comes another athletic goon. I thought it was the athletic goon from earlier, and I was like, "Oh, he survived!
No,
he survived. He's back." But no,
Blade.
It's not Blade yet. This is a different one. So this guy's doing backflips and flippity dips all over the place. And then as he's doing a flip, he clicks his feet together midair to bring out what look like stilt knives or something. That's what I referred to these as. Batman, as a counter, then puts his hand out, and his hand has a fucking stilt or something. I'm like, what is that?
This is where the movie starts to get progressively goofier and goofier.
Yeah.
These last 30 minutes.
I wrote, we are now witnessing stilt warfare because he's got a stilt in his hand. The other guy has stilt knives. And Batman knocks him out with his hand stilt. And it turns out that I wrote, this is a different.
Yeah, but that knocks him out through his feet.
Time. Yeah.
Okay. Didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah. So now we hear goofy carnival type music and Joker's dancing with a terrified Vicki Vale, while Batman has to face the remaining goons that Joker has. One goon literally jumps down from above where Batman is, tries to land behind him, but just falls through the floor You see that shit?
Yeah.
I missed that.
Yeah, he tries to jump in from behind, but as he hits the deck, instead of grabbing Batman and falling down with Batman, he just goes straight through the floor.
I was like, what was the point of that?
It was
oh
funny.
my gosh,
That's
there it is.
It was funny though. Yeah,
That's
the next goon grabs Batman and pushes him through a wall. The goon then grabs a chain and tries to hit Batman with it. He swings and misses every time. The whole time this is going on, Joker is still dancing with Vicki Vale. Joker then scares Vicki Vale with one of those toy guns where like a flag comes out
bang.
and it says bang. Yeah, I love those things.
It says bang 316 on it.
Bang 316.
I need one of those.
Then it goes back to the goon with the chain who was looking for Batman, and for some reason, here we go, Quinn. This is the guy. He looks just like Wesley Snipes,
Shades and all,
but he looks like Wesley Snipes as Blade.
Mm-hmm.
Like he actually looks like Blade.
Blade.
It's just his outfit is purple instead of black. You know, it's but dark purple. So, but he looks like fucking Wesley Snipes as Blade.
He really does.
So now it's literally Batman versus Blade in a crazy crossover fight scene now. Batman jumps at Wesley Snipes, and Snipes just tosses him into the staircase. This must be Blade, by the way, because this guy is holding his own.
Oh yeah,
against Batman for a little while.
This is the most well choreographed fight in the whole movie.
He actually gets in shots on Batman.
Oh yeah,
and he gets plenty of shots in on Batman. Actually,
yep.
He then hits Batman with a knee to the gut, which pushes Batman into another one of these massive Liberty Bell type deals. Batman falls down into the chasm, and Blade looks down to see if he fell to his death. But then Batman grabs him by the head with his legs and swings him down to the chasm, and makes his head hit the bell first before he throws him down.
Like a cartoon bonk on the head is how I remember it looking.
Dead.
And it was a Sonya Blade move from Mortal Kombat.
Mm-hmm.
Blade.
So Wesley Snipes' Blade has been defeated. We will not see him again. Back to Joker, who's still dancing with Vicki Vale, saying some real creepy shit. Now Batman appears in the shadows, and Vicki notices. She then starts kissing Joker's arm to distract him, while Batman gets his shit together before the attack. So Joker looks very turned on by this.
Oh yeah.
Vicki literally says, "You're so powerful and purple." Oh, I love purple. And Joker has a face like he's getting the best blowy of his life. And it's literally the look of a man who has his dick like all the way into a fleshlight.
And then she goes down to blow him.
Yeah. Now you hear Batman say, "Excuse me, have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?" and punches Joker in the face, sending him flying into another one of these bells. Batman then grabs Joker and says, "I'm gonna kill you." Joker is pissed and says, "You idiot! You made me, remember? You dropped me into that vat of chemicals. That wasn't easy to get over. And don't think I didn't try." Batman says, "I know you did," and punches him again. Batman then starts beating he starts beating the shit out of Joker, who at one point spits out his toy teeth that chatter on the ground.
That was so cool.
Yeah, that was pure muppetry right there. I actually love that.
Just gonna test Ty on the scale.
Yes. Joker then tries to punch Batman in the gut and breaks his hand in the process because of the body armor, I guess. So he's got his hand all fucked up. Batman then points at Joker and says, "You killed my parents." Joker says, "What are you talking about?" Batman says, "I made you. You made me first." And Joker
says, cool line.
"Hey, Batbrain, I was just a kid when I killed your parents, okay?" Like that's going to stop him. Batman's pissed. So then Joker puts some glasses on, says, "You wouldn't hit a guy with glasses on, would you?" And Batman immediately punches him.
Punches in the fucking face.
Yeah, goofy shit here. Joker goes over the edge of the building. Batman goes to look for him, and Batman and Vicki Vale both get pulled over the edge. They are now hanging off the edge of the building, and Joker is above them laughing hysterically. Real big laughs from Joker now. Joker leans down and says, "Let me lend you a hand." He reaches his hand down. Vicki Vale grabs the hand, and it detaches because it's a fake hand. And Batman has to grab her to keep her from falling to her death. Joker finds this hilarious, by the way. He just loves his little hand joke that he just made. Joker's now dancing above them and kicking out bricks from the ledge, so they're from the ledge that they're hanging on.
Yep, didn't make them like they used to.
Nope.
No. A helicopter comes in with more goons to pick up the Joker so he can escape. Joker talks some more shit, and a ladder comes down from the helicopter. Joker grabs on and starts getting pulled away, but then Batman shoots a grappling hook around Joker's leg to stop him from escaping. He ties the Joker.
The other leg wraps round.
Yeah, he tied it to the gargoyle that is there, up there, the stone gargoyle, and the gargoyle breaks off, so the gargoyle is now dangling from the Joker's leg. It is apparently too much weight because the Joker loses his grip from the ladder, and the weight of the gargoyle makes him fall to his death.
And Jack Nicholson Joker.
The animation of his death was pretty goofy too. The way it looked a
Yeah,
little strange. Yeah,
it was the
looked a little dodgy.
black outline there.
Yeah,
but yeah, that thing would weigh way more than him.
Oh yeah, it would have ripped his legs off.
Yeah,
yeah. It's I just found it interesting that it actually wasn't like something like Batman wasn't kind of directly involved because like he's not touching him or like accidentally hits him over something to fall to his death. No, a fucking gargoyle brings the Joker down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Batman was just trying to keep him from escaping. It seemed like, but you never know because this Batman does kill, so we may not know.
Death by gargoyle is a little bit more
death by gargoyle
death by rocket launchers.
Just for the sake of clarity, and this might be where I shoot myself in the foot here. I think it's a grotesque. I think a gargoyle is where if water comes out of the mouth, so it's a feature on the side of the building where the water comes out the mouth.
Yeah.
But a grotesque is something that doesn't do that, so it can be like a creature where something doesn't do that. I'm probably getting that wrong, and I'm just making myself look stupid. But there's two distinct differences there. One is where it's like a water spout. I think that's a gargoyle, and the other is called a grotesque.
Interesting.
I never thought of it that way.
If I'm wrong, it's the opposite way around. But either way,
that's still dope. I think. So grotesque and gargoyle.
But there's a distinction. Yeah,
there's a distinction too.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Learned it off QI. So it's one of the two, and I learned it off QI. So I'm going to put my money on one of them is right. One of them's definitely wrong. One of them's definitely right.
It sounds like it might have something to it. You never know, but that's interesting.
Anyway, it's quite interesting. But,
yeah. All right, so we got so Joker's dead. He falls to his death. Batman and Vicki are hanging on the ledge still, but a brick gives out, and they start to fall. Batman shoots a grapple, and it stops them from free falling, and they both survive. So cut to the Joker's body, which made a big. Did you notice it made a big crater in the concrete around him?
Joker's body broke through.
Yeah,
about 3 feet of concrete.
His body must have weighed like 9,000 pounds.
It's that chemical piss, man. Just really weighs you down, you know.
It really must. I didn't notice that. I just thought, why isn't he eviscerated?
Right.
Like he should just be a pig
exploded on impact.
Absolutely. Yeah. And not only that, Sticky Batman. When he's got one hat, just one arm wrapped around her. She's not hooked on him, nothing. And they just fall. Like her spine doesn't snap in half.
Yeah, I always have a problem with stuff like that, with falling. Yeah, and then they catch themselves on wires. Like even with there's a lot of that shit in Spider-Man too.
Yeah, a lot with Spider-Man.
Because he that's how he gets around. Yeah, there's a lot of shit with that.
Well, he fixed it with the Amazing Spider-Man 2, where he catches her with the web, but then her head still goes back and cracks against the cement.
Yeah, that was a rough one.
Yeah.
Well, her back would have been in 2 bits.
Yeah, unless Spider-Man already blew out her back, you know.
Yeah, or unless you really, really, really fucking into yoga.
All right, so Joker's body is in this concrete crater, and multiple cops surround his body, and you can hear what sounds like him laughing constantly, but in a robotic sort of way. Commissioner Gordon then reaches in his pocket and pulls out a green sack, and I guess it's a green sack with a laughing box in it or something, because that's what is making
Yeah,
the
it
noise
never gets
apparently.
revealed.
Yeah. So
Still
you never
got
know.
the smile.
You never really know what's in that bag. It's
Mhm.
one of those weird fucking mystery things. Anyway, back to City Hall, where Commissioner Gordon has announced that they have rounded up all of Joker's men, and the reign of crime is over in Gotham. Knox goes to Vicki Vale to ask what she is up to after all of this. She just kisses him on the cheek and leaves because she's trying to get that Bruce Wayne dick.
Mhm.
Harvey Dent announces that he has a letter from Batman. It says, "Please inform the citizens of Gotham that Gotham City has earned a rest from crime. But if the forces of evil should rise again to cast a shadow on the heart of the city, call me." Knox then asks, "How would you call him?" And then Commissioner Gordon then walks to a massive spotlight, and he says, "He gave us a signal." And he turns on the spotlight, and it shines the massive bat symbol up in the clouds, while Danny Elfman's score starts really picking up
Mhm.
for this spot here. That was cool.
What a good way to end it with the speech and then the bat signal. It was all so perfect, man.
So then Vicki Vale goes to Alfred, who is waiting with his car. Alfred says, "Mr. Wayne told me to tell you might be a little late." Vicki smiles and says she is not a bit surprised. They drive off, and Danny Elfman's score kicks in, again, very heavy this time. The camera pans to the tops of the buildings where Batman is looming high, looking at the bat symbol at the top of a building. Cut to black, roll credits, and Danny Elfman's score takes you to your exits, ladies and gentlemen. That is a wrap. We are finished with Batman from 1989, directed by Tim Burton. And that was a hell of a ride. I enjoyed rewatching that. It's been a while since I've rewatched that one.
Surprisingly an awesome time.
Yeah. All right. So that was Batman 1989. So I guess we should we'll go right into the scores here from 0 to 10. Give it a rating. Captain Quintano, I'll start with you first. So give it a rating and then explain what you liked, what you didn't like. Just give us a summary. There you go.
I'll give it an 8 out of 10. There's a lot of goofiness in there. But without this movie, we wouldn't have gotten all the other Batman movies. Stuff that I grew up with that I loved very much. Now watching this and seeing how much the later movies paid homage to this and certain scenes and just laying the foundation for Batman to be in this just on the big screen. I enjoyed the movie. I loved Michael Keaton's Batman. You can't have a good hero without a great villain, and Jack Nicholson stole the show with this movie. His character is fucking awesome. He's right there with Heath Ledger for me. I think his own unique twist. I loved it all. And Vicki.
Yes.
Points for Vicki, all right? No, it was a lot of fun. I had a blast watching this movie. I get a little nervous watching older movies. Sometimes I'm afraid that some of the stuff will bore me, yada, yada, yada. But the more I watch older movies, the more I get happy that it's not a CGI shit show. The prosthetics, sometimes the cheesy lines are just as cool. And I knew that if I was watching it back then, I would have been obsessed with this movie. And it was a really fun ride. I enjoyed it a lot. 8 out of 10.
And this is also, I think you're one of the only people I know who this is your first time seeing this Batman movie. So I thought, did you think you were going to like it, or because you'd seen the Christopher Nolan ones first, you're like, this is going to be kind of look silly.
I love Tim Burton, but Tim Burton can always be really goofy with his movies. Like I love Sweeney Todd, so I know he can kind of go that gothic style of movies. I just couldn't really see him and Batman working out. But I think this movie played it smart. They didn't focus too much on Batman, surprisingly. I kind of felt like this was Jack Nicholson's film through and through. They gave him a shit ton of screen time. And that is what Tim Burton is known for, is making sick and twisted characters. And putting him and Jack Nicholson together just made for a damn fun time.
All right. Craig, give us a score and tell us your thoughts.
Got to repeat what Quinn said. 8 out of 10. There's a load of goofiness in it, and I love it for those goofy bits. It's just part of the charm, because if you've taken those things away, you've got the 20s to 40s Art Deco noir sort of looks with the sort of modern, modern music and cars and what have you. It's a mishmash of a lot of things. It somehow all works. The fact that Michael Keaton did it, so bearing in mind Michael Keaton was a comedy actor in the 80s before this, so the response that people gave Heath Ledger for being the Joker was pretty much what they get, well, what everyone's given every Batman. So when Christian Bale, he can't be Batman. Michael Keaton, he can't be Batman. Ben Affleck, he can't be Batman.
Did they say that about Christian Bale, though?
They did.
Because
he was just coming off of The Mechanist, and he weighed like 97 pounds. He was like thin, and he bulked up like there's no tomorrow. But everyone was saying he couldn't do that film because the last big film that he did was The Mechanist, I think it was. Whatever the right name is.
Machinist.
But no one could see him going from a 97-pound freaky looking thing to playing Batman,
Yeah, like in The Machinist, he was. I think his diet was an apple, a tin of tuna, cigarettes, and coffee, black coffee. That was his diet during that. And I think I might be misremembering this. I think he said he was like melting ice cream and drinking it, or that might have been. That might be a Jared Leto. I think, but regardless, he just put a fuck ton of weight on in 6 months and just bulked up incredibly. But Keaton absolutely completely smashes it. He's socially awkward, which is what you'd expect from
Bruce
a billion, an isolated billionaire. Jack Nicholson, perfect casting, and there was even a few things sort of borrowed from Cesar Romero, who did the 1965 Batman. Well, I think it was 65. That TV show within the film, like the little ooh hee hees ha ha's that he does, just the little in between sentences, and you go, I can definitely see where Heath Ledger got some of that, because Heath Ledger made it his own. Yeah. But there's that little
ooh hee
those little things, they are there, and you can see like they're two very different, but they're very much the same as well at the same time. Fantastic film. The look of the film is fucking gorgeous.
10 out of 10 for the look, man. The look and the feel.
Yeah, if you're going
very consistent too, the look of it.
Yeah, I'm into this. If you can go, yeah, like this is the look of it. I'm into this. Throughout the whole film, it's the Art Deco. It's just fantastic. It is so very Tim Burton, and it does work. Cast's fantastic. Bob, brilliant. Billy D. Williams. Wish there was a bit more of him. But yeah, and absolutely, it can be better. We know it can be better. Dark Knight is a 10 out of 10. This absolute 8 out of 10, and that is not a slight on the film in the slightest.
I don't think so. Yeah, it's
It was a joy to watch again. It's been so long since I've seen it. Absolute joy to rewatch. Forgotten how campy it was. Forgotten how much fun it was.
Yeah, and that's how I would describe it. It was fun. I have not always been the highest on these Tim Burton Batman films. A lot of people love them. I was not really a big fan of these, but man, going back and rewatching this again, I hate to not be different from you guys, but I think I am going to rate it an 8 out of 10 as well. I was probably going to rate it a little bit lower. I was thinking going for 7, but honestly, that one sequence where the Joker just has the Ron Jeremy pistol and Batman has nukes and machine guns, and the Joker wins that thing, that bumped it up to an 8 for me.
Laser gun missiles.
It was so ridiculous that it was so funny.
They don't try to make you take it seriously, you know?
Yeah. And I think Craig was talking about it off air. I think he was describing it, he said this is actually like a true comic book
Yes.
movie.
Yeah.
100%.
It feels like it doesn't feel like they're taking a comic book story and trying to make it more realistic. No, this is comic book mayhem that we're going with in this one, and it works. It's a lot of fun. Didn't really care much for the Prince stuff, even though I kind of get it. But that kind of felt like those couple minutes where they have those sequences, they felt more like distractions than
Takes you
enhancing
out of the movie.
Yeah, I kind of felt that way as well. So that was probably the low point for me. But everything else in it, it was fun. I like how consistent the look of Gotham that they had going there was. It just felt very artsy. Honestly, if you took out Batman or like tried to disguise this as another film, you'd probably think it was an art film.
Yeah,
with just goofy stuff going on,
100%.
It'd be film noir.
Yeah, it's a very artsy film. It's like, and remember, like in the beginning, I said, "Oh my God, the Gotham it looks like Blade Runner," because it had that very similar Blade Runner feel to it. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. I had much more fun watching this again after all these years, and I just had a blast. And yeah, it's not one to be taken too seriously. I guess I should talk about the cast a little bit. Jack Nicholson is the Joker. This is the OG. This is one of the greatest performances ever, Joker, because, they said it about Heath too, but it's funny. We mentioned that when he was cast as Joker, people were like, there's no way he could pull this off. And then it was so good, it made you forget about Jack Nicholson's Joker at that point. But this was the original, like, oh my God, this actor is just killing it with this Joker role here. And Michael Keaton, I've never been the biggest Michael Keaton Batman fan, but watching back, I definitely appreciate him a lot more than I do. I honestly thought going in this review, I was going to kind of
be the bad critic.
I was going to poke some fun at people who think Michael Keaton is like the best Batman. I don't think he is. For me, it's
no.
Christian Bale or no?
It's Christian Bale for me.
Yeah,
Christian Bale for me. Yeah.
I do, and I have a problem with Christian Bale's Batman voice in the later movies because it just gets worse and worse. But I still think he's the best Batman because I think he has the best balance of Batman and Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Just the balance of that too. Michael Keaton's Bruce Wayne, because it's kind of like playing two characters in one. His Bruce Wayne was okay. I liked his Batman though.
Yeah.
His Batman is good. His Bruce Wayne it's all right for me. It's not.
Yeah. The hair threw me off. The hair threw me off with his character. Looks like he had just got a perm done.
Yeah. Well, not only that, like his hairline is like back here.
Mm-hmm.
It's like.
What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say?
It's like mine.
Hey guys.
Sorry, we're all rapidly bald.
We all have bad hairlines in this video. Yeah. This is just a trio of bad hairlines. Now that I think of it, we all have
this without the fur. Yeah.
Oh man, but
no, that hair, it was a choice. It was definitely a choice.
Yeah, and Kim Bassinger, Bassinger, she looks good, but as an actress, she never really. It was her performance. You're
talking about
she's there,
Vicki, the popcorn eater?
Looking good. She's there, looking good, but other than that, it's not like a wowing performance.
She played her part.
She didn't need to be. She didn't need to be Meryl Streep.
No, but yeah, she's also
she was there to be Kim Bassinger, and
she's there to look good.
She knocked that role out 10 out of 10. Fucking hell.
Yeah. But yeah,
thank you.
So
Kim
this was a fun ride.
Muppet rating.
Muppet rating. That's right. Thank you for reminding me.
Yes.
So we all scored an 8 out of 10. That's surprising. We all have the same score.
I think that's going to be a rare occasion.
I'm not that surprised with this film. I wasn't too sure about Quinn, but when you said you enjoyed, talking on, I was like, "Yep, I'm not surprised hearing what you said."
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we do get some differences, just so we can have,
Yeah, absolutely. That'll make it more fun.
Put our sides across, and why, why we like this stupid, fucking ridiculous film.
It's a blast. Yeah. It's just a blast.
Muppet meter. This was high for me. I put this at an 85. This was 85 out of 100. There's a lot of Muppetry going on in this. In fact, I probably should score it at a 90, but I'm going to go 85 because there was that fucking sequence that I loved that you get the where the Joker's in the middle of the street going up against the Batwing. That was 1,000 out of 100. That was just pure. That was pure mental. That just so funny. How about you guys?
Give it an 85.
85 out of 100. That's the
Go ahead, Craig.
For me.
I'll give it an 88. Let's go back to the future. Because not only that, Bob, the guys with the glasses, the fact that that warehouse the chemical plant is able to run without, the fact that everyone's dressed like they're in the 20s and you got Prince playing, sex songs in the streets. Everyone's got a fedora.
That's the worst part of the movie for me, by the way, when Prince songs come on. And it's nothing against Prince. I just think it's a major distraction.
Okay.
That album made them millions, right?
Yeah, I'm sure it did.
They did. So I'm sure they probably go, yeah, but.
Yeah.
And I'm a big Prince fan, so I can enjoy it without. If I hear the songs and I'm not watching the film, then I've heard them a good few times. So Muppetry at 88, it's loaded with Muppetry, and it's the best kind of Muppetry.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, I was having trouble trying to decide because I'm like, it's meant to be funny, but that is Muppetry at its
Once
finest.
you start getting into, I think with the Muppet meter, once you start getting into the 90s,
that's where I'm going.
That's
I'm going
where
right
the
at
film
90.
Totally, like the Muppetry overwhelms the film, and the film becomes absolutely terrible.
I'm gonna hit it with the 90. There's some scenes that I absolutely lost it at. The swinging sword master that came out for me, just rushing as fast as he could, flailing his arms in ways that didn't make sense. That had me absolutely crying when I was watching the film.
And he just ends it with a front kick.
Yeah. And the Dragon Ball Z Nappa character just standing there with the beatbox, same shoulders, just like that's
some really goofy shit in this movie, man. But that adds to the fun.
Yeah.
Sometimes films like that when you put that much Muppetry in it, it doesn't usually. Actually, I would say most of the time it doesn't work. But it does.
It works for this because you have the Joker, so it makes it all okay.
The electrocuted guy. What the fuck?
Yeah. You guys need to go back to that popcorn scene. I'm telling you, you just see her hand while this really intense moment is going on. Her hand is just like playing with the popcorn, and it's good.
Yeah, I gotta check that.
I will check that out as soon as we're done with this. I'm gonna jump to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll give it a 90 on the Muppet meter. That's my answer.
90.
If 90s, come on, 89.9. If 90s where it starts to dip into if 90s where it takes a shark dive, then
I loved it. I loved it all. Like I didn't take this movie seriously
89.9
for a second, but it still had some awesome moments, and you had some badass lines all throughout the movie. Whether it was from the Joker or Batman just being cool as fuck, you got it in this movie.
The visuals, man. The matte paintings in the background, the set designs, the Danny Elfman score as well. Fucking hell.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
That is so iconic. That is John Williams level.
Very iconic Batman score for sure. Again, it's like you start watching this, realize like if this was 1989, Quentin, you mentioned this before. I can see why it did so well.
Oh
and it
god,
became this huge thing.
In 89, it probably would have been like my favorite movie as a kid going and seeing this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not only that, on home video, it went fucking mega. I remember.
Yeah. Oh my god, I'd probably have it on repeat in my house just to hear Jack Nicholson play the Joker.
Yeah. Oh man, I've seen a good few things about this in the past, and I remember it went mega on home video. So like I know the album went massive. And on home video, did blockbusters. Gangbusters.
Well, amazing, guys.
Yeah, that about wraps up our review. I'm surprised I liked it as much as I did. Because I've not always been the biggest fan of this version of Batman, but it was a lot of fun. And I'm still shocked that we all rated it the same, and very similar Muppetry ratings too. So all three of us were very much in the same zone here watching this one.
Down the line, it'll be interesting to do Batman Returns.
That needs to happen.
I actually can't wait to do that, but we got to change it up for a little
down
while.
The line.
Down the line, yeah.
I'm gonna have to watch it on my own.
Because Batman Returns, the Muppetry rating will go even higher
through the roof
for sure.
It will go above 90.
It will. Yes.
That big fucking duck alone is worth 88 points.
Yes.
Who are the villains?
Army of penguins, dude? Like,
wait,
what is going on?
An army of
dude,
penguins?
we can't spoil anything for Quentin because he hasn't seen it.
No. He hasn't seen it yet, but what if we said army of missile-loaded penguins?
I gotta see it.
Yeah, it sounds too weird to believe, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but also the goofiness, I mean, if they bring up the Muppet Reader, they bring up the Muppet.
I don't know what, because I haven't even thought about what movie we're gonna do next week. Do you guys have any ideas? Maybe to give people listening a preview of what we might be thinking about.
What kind of genre are you thinking? Is it like you thinking goofy? You thinking fun? You thinking serious movie? What do you feel?
It could be any of them. It doesn't matter. I like to jump around. So,
if you want to do older movies, we have to do Alien at some point. The original Alien. That's a big one on my list.
Yep. There you go.
That's Ripley.
Yeah.
I'll throw this in the back. Ultimately, I think your choice, Brian. I will throw this in the bag. Just blanket genre, Arnie film.
What is it?
Arnie film.
Oh, Arnold Schwarzenegger? Any of them?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Just the arm wrestling one I love.
That's interesting.
It's a great movie.
We could do Arnold Schwarzenegger film at some point, yeah.
Oh, no, I'm thinking Stallone.
I'm down for Stallone. Rocky 4. Oh, my God.
Dude, I love all the Rocky movies.
Yeah, the Rockies are great.
Except for 5. I don't like 5.
Oh, no. Rocky 5 never existed. Rocky 4 is the worst film, but somehow the best film.
Oh, don't you dare say it's the worst film.
3 is Mr. T, 2 is Apollo 3.
That film is America flexing its dick. That's what that is.
Yeah. But what I said is the worst film, but somehow it's the best film. I fucking love
it. Gets you so jacked up, dude.
It's literally a third of it is montages.
It has like 7 montages. It's insane, but all of them are fucking great. It's really weird. It's a movie that you shouldn't like, but you do.
You shouldn't like it. I fucking love it so much.
Yeah.
But
I used to work out actually to that Rocky 4. I had the soundtrack to Rocky 4, and I used to work out to that soundtrack because it got you so jacked up.
I've got the song training montage on my phone. That was on my workout playlist.
Yeah. Yep. That and the war song. That's when they're actually fighting in the boxing match. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, that's a hitter.
Yeah. Good stuff. Well, we'll figure it out. So we can. You guys can start throwing suggestions to me when we in a text or something. Good. We got a week, yeah. So we can think about it. But anybody, for everybody who made it this far, another long review. We got through it, and you are the MVP if you made it this far. So thank you for watching, and thank you, Captain Quintano and Craig, for joining me on this. And we will see you again next week, same time.
See you soon.
So see you Monday. Peace out.
Till next week.